Well, hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This was going to be basically just a draft watch-along show with my good friend Stephen Fox, who's joining me again, who was kind enough to do a back-to-back days. We did a draft preview last night, and literally 15 minutes after we signed off, or less even, the big blockbuster trade was announced where Mikal Bridges was traded to the New York Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic and 5 first-round picks. And I jumped back on live. We talked about it last night, but we didn't get to hear what Stephen Fox thought about it. Plus, we also got incredible news just about an hour ago. OG Anunoby is going to re-sign with the Knicks for a 5-year, $212.5 million offer. We're going to talk all about that, and then we're just going to keep talking, and we're going to watch along with the draft, because I'm sure there's going to be more trades that are going to pop up, and it's going to be interesting what's going to happen. What are the Knicks going to do in this draft right now? Because now there's a lot of questions. There's one piece of business left unattended to, and that is the Isaiah Hartenstein situation. But before we get to all of that, thank you guys for joining us. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, share this video, and drop your comments if you want to hear your thoughts and feelings about everything. And welcome Stephen Fox back to the Knicks-Verse.
Yo, thank you for inviting me. I had a great time yesterday. Thanks, everyone. There was a poignant moment at the end of the show yesterday, folks, where we were talking about possibly Paul George. And George and I looked at each other and said, really, if a dream could come true, it would be Mikal Bridges, but I don't ever see that happening, but he would be absolutely perfect. And like George said, like 10 minutes later, oh my God, we say goodbye on the show. And the next thing you know, George and myself and JD and Keese were screaming in the background, oh my God, you believe this? Oh my God, oh my God. You imagine having 2 wings and then, in this case, Mitch or somebody anchoring. This changes. This is a scary team.
Incredibly scary team. And this is a team that is built. I've been calling it the Celtics kryptonite. We now have the 2 wings, the 2 bona fide wings in the NBA, in my opinion, who can actually neutralize the champion Celtics wings of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because they're not just defenders. They can score, and they can score in multiple levels, and they can shoot at a high frequency, at a high efficiency, and they both have that elite mid-level game that is not utilized as much, but in the playoffs you do need it at times. So we are perfectly set up. There is still some unfinished business, but we're going to get into that. Foxy, what was your initial reaction when you saw the Mikal Bridges trade last night? When you originally saw that, what was your initial thoughts?
Shout out to Keese. Keese got it to me. I got it to JD. He was out on doing something, and like I said, as a family, we're all like screaming, like, "Can you believe this?" Because as we said yesterday in the show, and we've said in previous shows, in a perfect world, from a basketball standpoint, from a culture standpoint, you couldn't get a better fit than Mikal Bridges, and all of us were saying, "Wow. If we could only have gotten Mikal." Now we have 2 of the premier, as we said yesterday, Bridges hasn't missed a game in 4 years. Again, shout out to our friend JD. He educated me to nobody has scored more corner threes in the last decade than Mikal Bridges. So folks, we got to do something for Leon. He is really turning it up, man. This guy is doing everything that we need to, go toe to toe with Boston, in the East, and then go on to the West.
It's shocking how quickly this stuff just came around, and honestly, I really thought there would never be a day when we would trade with the Nets, that the Nets would be willing to trade with us. But it took a Godfather type offer. Some people may think we overpaid, and it comes to picks, but I disagree, because one of the reasons that Donovan Mitchell trade didn't go through when they wanted 4 or 5 picks is because they also wanted some of our young, our young and up and coming talent like R.J. Barrett and Mitch Robinson and Quentin Grimes. So they wanted players plus the picks. Here we only gave up one player that was a rental, who's older, who's injury prone. Actually, he couldn't finish the playoffs because he got injured. And in exchange, we get a guy who hasn't missed a game in his entire pro career. It's great insurance, for especially when we're talking about a guy like OG Anunoby, who does get injured at times, and Julius Randle as well. This is basically hedging against any kind of possibility that something might develop like that in the future. This guy just never goes down. He plays a workworkhorse.
And then the chemistry.
And then there's that. There's so many bonuses, so many pluses all around. He's coming back to play with his teammates that he won NCAA championships with. He loves those guys. There was, he was on on the show, the roommates with Jalen and Josh Hart, and they were basically teasing him about being with the Nets. And he, from what I've heard, he went in and told the Nets front office that he wanted to become a New York Knick. And if they traded him elsewhere, he was going to inform that other team that was his intention in 2 years when he becomes a free agent. So, shout out to the Nets, for not being stubborn, which it sounds like the Suns are being a little bit like that right now. Shout out to the Nets for jumping on and letting themselves be overwhelmed by the right deal for them. And those picks as well, the way this team has been playing, we finished the 2nd seed this year. Next year, it's 2nd seed or better, as far as I'm concerned. And then that 2025 pick is going to be a very low pick. It's going to be maybe from 25 to 30. At least those next 2 picks that they're getting are going to be in the low 20s. So those aren't high value picks. We're not giving up potential lottery picks here unless something catastrophic happens, of course. But you can never, strategize against that. I think this was a pretty outstanding move for the Knicks at this time because they took someone off the market before he even was really on the market. It happened like that. Foxy. Now, OG Anunoby. 5 years, $212.5 million. How do you feel about that price, considering it's instantly made us tied for the 4th best odds to win the championship next year? And I believe some other sites has us as tied for 2nd best odds with the Denver Nuggets behind the Boston Celtics.
Well, first of all, OG, when he came back, it was only 5 points, but when he came back against the 76ers, he showed the Knicks fans that he was willing to go to war on one leg to help this team. He did all he could, and he won me and a lot of other people over. He's a different cat, and he's a real quiet guy. He's not your normal guy. But wow, he does that, and now we're hearing from Ian Begley and a few others that there were max offers, and he saw the Knicks' vision, and he decided this is where he wanted to be. It doesn't hurt that his agent has affiliation with Leon and stuff, but they knew all along this. He's truly the Don, the Godfather, Leon Rose. This shit was all done already for a while. They were just sitting on it. But as I said yesterday, hey folks, OG's contract turns out to be $42.5 million a year as an average. We'll structure it differently just to get under the cap, as you see on the left side from Fred Katz. But just to give you again, yesterday, Scotty Barnes signed a contract where he's making $54 million. A guy that shot 34% from 3 last year, and for his career 31%. So this is a great contract, getting a guy like OG for $42.5 million in today's dollars. Woo! With that, and now, like you said, we not only have 2 wings, but God willing, at the end of tonight, folks, we may have 3. 2 that has offensive games, and maybe the 3rd that doesn't, but 3 lockdown defenders. That changes everything.
Lockdown defenders is beautifully said. These guys are, there's no doubt they're two of the best. First of all, Mikal Bridges, just about a little over 2 years ago around now, I tweeted this out earlier today. He made the first team all defensive NBA and was runner up in defensive player of the year behind Marcus Smart. Marcus Short, who's that? Behind Marcus Smart. Runner up, defensive player of the year. And then OG Anunoby, we all know that if OG strings together at least a 73 game season, he will most definitely be a first team all defensive player, maybe even could contend with Victor for defensive player of the year because of his versatility, his ability to guard almost 1 through 5. But there's definitely centers that he can guard, but there are some, of course, that are just monstrous. But definitely 1 through 4, where Victor is a different type of defender. He definitely impacts the game overall, and he probably will be the perennial defensive player of the year for many years to come. But short of that, we got like the next best couple of guys. And their age, the age that they're at right now is fantastic. The average age of the entire Knicks current rotation, all under 20, their average is about 26 and a half or something, 27 years old.
All going into their prime.
Absolutely. All going into their prime. Oh, man, what a beautiful day. It's fantastic. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us here. We got Lex the Destroyer in the house. What's up, man? Best mod around. We got Raw Productions. Nelly Nell, what's up? That's right. Has never missed a game. Villanova. Let's see who else we got. Bayard, Carminicky, Wiz BKLA. What's up, brother?
Wiz, my man, Wiz. Yeah, Wiz, like you just said, as always, Bayard, like you said, Carminicky, Dwayne Dennis, as always, Roar Productions, CC, thanks so much. Prezi the Boss, it's, 27. Just thank you so much for your support, everyone. And we're just so excited what's happening. And we have 3 picks to go. So, we have... Tonight is like just an exciting night. We don't know what's going to happen now because we don't know there's going to have to be a sign and trade on Precious. That now, in the draft, we may be drafting a Precious, replacement and stuff like that. So a lot of things going on, and I'm so excited.
It's like Christmas and Hanukkah. We're getting a gift every day.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I'm so ecstatic, man. I had a feeling this was going to be the biggest off-season. It's hard to say that because every year something important has happened for the Knicks as of late. And 2 years ago we signed Jalen Brunson. Last year we got Dante DiVincenzo. We made a tremendous. And 2 years ago we also got Isaiah Hartenstein, and we got Dante DiVincenzo last year. Made some trades at the trade deadline that did help us for sure. But before that was the OG Anunoby trade. This has just been trending in the right direction. And as Ian Begley here reported, OG Anunoby would have had max offers coming from other places, per sources monitoring the wing market. But Anunoby saw the vision with the Knicks and wanted to help build a true contender in the Garden, SNY sources say. That's something that 5 years ago, no player would ever have said. The attitude,
Brunson doing it now, OG, all these guys saying, "Hey, we want a ring. Some things are more. It comes a point where you're like, I'm making $42.5 million a year. I think I could survive even with Bidenomics."
I mean, he's gonna. This is just the beginning for him too. The guy. Also, I think we don't know the details yet, but apparently there is a player option at the end, so that's probably for year 5, a player option. There's also a trade kicker that's included in this. But as you can see, next year for the 2024-25 season, he'll make $36.6 million. Now, we don't know this for sure. This is Fred Katz tweeted this out. It's his guesstimate. I've seen other people putting similar numbers out. So let's say $36.6 million, which would keep us under the hard cap next season. and then he'd make 39.6 million in 2025-26 and 26-27.
And just right there, just as a thing, so he'll be making OG 36.6 in 24-25. Miles Bridges will make 23.3. And then the next year, where OB will be making OG will be making 39.6. He'll be meaning Mikal will be making 24.9. So we have 2 years of an unbelievable contract for Mikal.
Yeah, and this is how it breaks out thanks to Tommy Beer. Looking at just the raw numbers in OG Anunoby's new contract is misleading. It's imperative to remember that league-wide salary cap will increase 10% annually beginning in 2025. With that in mind, here is a different, more accurate way of examining OG's pact. So as you can see, look at the percentage of what his salary is to the salary cap. In year one, it'll be 26%. Where if we had made the Paul George type of trade, it would have been 35%. And by the end of his deal, the 4 years, because his would have been for 4 years, he would have been as low as almost 30% of the cap, which is still good considering how much his salary will be rising. But this is a gift to us in a lot of ways. 212.5 million sounds like a crazy amount of money, but for a 5-year deal for a player this unique, I think this is a fair offer that everyone's happy with, and at the same time, he thrived when he was here with playing next to Brunson and with Dante out there. You know, he did, and even those few minutes he had with Mitch, you know, he thrived out there. By the end of this deal, he'll be only hitting 20. He'll only be costing 23.4% of the salary cap for an all defensive level wing who can score average, who can give you anywhere from 15 to 20 points a game on average.
And I can't help but think that Mikal will bring him to a whole nother level because he'll be doing stuff that maybe other guys weren't doing in the past. So, and also you did some brilliant shows where nobody, folks, for being traded to a team, what was he, plus 300? Nobody had a plus minus like OG, the impact on a team. Incredible. And you covered that brilliantly.
His plus minus was sick, especially on this particular
record breaking. No player in history.
Record breaking. It was easy. Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah. Oh man. Once again. So, but there's more to discuss. There's definitely more to discuss today. Well, I think the draft has just about started. Let's see. Let's check on it here. Right now, the Atlanta Hawks will be on the clock pretty soon. The draft hasn't officially started. Oh, they are on the clock. All right, let's get back to this here. It is draft day.
Yeah.
It is draft day. It's funny. Man, I'll tell you, this is let's go to this. Here we go. So on the clock are the Atlanta Hawks with the number 1 pick, the round 1 pick. Looks like this guy, my pronunciation is Ricochet. Which, you know, he looks like a nice player. He's a nice player. Yeah. Who'd you comp him out to be?
We talked about it. A few people called Harrison Barnes. I see some of that. It's so hard when you see guys playing in France and not seeing them here to really get a level because of the competition. You know, he has difficulty making his own shots and stuff like that. But I'll tell you right now. Let me bring up the
Bible.
Bring up the Bible. My 71.
The Foxy Bible.
Yeah. Here we go, folks. Sorry, there's a lot. There's a whole lot of shit here. All right, a little more. There's my shooting guards, and we're just about there. And okay, here we go. Okay, so he's only 18, very raw, meaning Ricochet, average athleticism with good size and length for a wing, shot 47% from the field, 39% from 3, 71% from the foul line, went through a terrible shooting slump during the season, but he ended the season really strong, good shooting mechanics, excels at catch and shoot, not a shot creator nor a playmaker. I had Michael Porter Jr. as my comp.
That's quite a compliment.
Not a shot creator or nor playmaker, dependent on a point guard to make him better. Lack of physicality impacts him getting to the hole, and on defense and getting through screens. Average on defense, lack of lateral quickness resulted in him getting beaten off the dribble. So that's why I said, he's a very good player, 6'10" and a half wingspan. He has that great size, and he'll start off, I think, as a good shooter. And, I think he'll be going to Atlanta. And with Trey and the DeJounte, he's in a great environment for it to succeed with those two guys setting him up.
How old is he? He's under 20. He's 19, so the age is good.
Yeah, he's 19. Yeah, he just turned 19 in April.
Okay. I mean, it's again, this is not a good draft. There's no obvious all-stars in this draft. There's always going to be, one or two or three guys that pop unexpectedly. But that's really based upon their makeup and what place where they land, where they end up. In this case, a Harrison Barnes comp, it's solid comp, but more, MPJ
for a number one pick.
MPJ is a good comp for a number one pick, I would say, because he probably would have, if he hadn't gotten hurt in that draft, he probably would have gotten number one in that draft originally. Outstanding shooter at 6'10", 6'9", but he has a handle. He had great athleticism when he was younger. He still retained a lot of it since his injury, but Ricochet doesn't have that kind of athleticism, so that's a tough comp for him. Yeah, but he most likely will be the number one pick. If not him, it'll be Alex Sarr. I imagine that would be the next pick behind, who's also 19 years old. So two Frenchmen are going to be going in the top two in the draft,
and there's a good shot 3 within the top 10. That's
our prediction. The thing we're really waiting for here is to see what kind of draft day moves are made. Already the what was it? The Wizards traded Denny Avdia to the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon, and I'm sure they're going to then flip Brogdon to somebody else. So that's already been a move. But in terms of drafts, the draft itself, at once, I think the 6th pick happens, suddenly we're going to start hearing about some draft day deals. Let's see. What do you think about Sarr for the Wizards?
I think it's a good starting piece for Sarr. I have excellent size, length, and agility. Will need to play the 4 for the first few years while he gets stronger and puts on weight. He'll have issues holding his spot at the 4. Forget about the 5. Good shooting mechanics, but only shot 28% from 3. Good on lobs and in transition. Due to his lack of physicality, he needs big improvement on the screens he sets. This also impacts him finishing at the rim and rebounding. Mobility enables versatility on switches. Only has a couple moves. Not a shot creator, needs to work on his pick and pop, doesn't have the motor you would hope, especially on defense, didn't show any playmaking skills with poor assist to turnover ratio and he's a project. It's going to take several years, but he'll start off as a really good defensive player with that length, 7'4", a blink under 7'5" wingspan he's a pup, he's a young kid. As I said, 50.
It is Ricochet. He's the number one. Yeah, he is the number one pick for Atlanta. So it's official. 19 years old, small forward from France, 6'9". They have him here as 204 pounds. So he's put on a few LBs since Tankathon listed his weight. Okay, it's pretty much going as expected already with the first pick. He had been rumored to be going first for quite a while. So that's good to hear. But we'll get back to Mr.
So Alex is going to start off that way. Evan Mobley is my comp for him at this stage. He doesn't shoot well enough to be a Jaren Jackson, but 50% from the field, 27% from 3, 70% from the foul line. So, he'll start off, but, Washington, I just don't know who's going to be feeding him the ball. I guess Tyus.
Yeah. I mean, they hold on to him.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see. I think, you know what? They're probably just going to tank next season. They'll pick up a solid point
It's a
guard.
hell of a draft to tank for.
Yeah, it is. I
The
know.
Cooper Flag,
Cooper Flag.
Ace Bailey.
It's that next year's draft is going to be outstanding on the top end, no doubt. We got Alex Quispe in the house. What's up, brother? Marco Rizzolo, what's up? I think we're going to be getting some a center. I think this is my feeling. If we hold on to at least 2 of the 3 picks, one of them will be a center. That's my guess at this point. What do you think, Foxy?
I'm with you. Before we found out about OG and that, and also obviously Mikal, I was thinking we were just going to go all in on Ryan Dunn and probably leverage the second pick to get future picks back. But I would not be surprised. A guy like Deron Holmes, all of a sudden, even though he looks more of a 4 than a 5 to me, but especially if we have to do a sign and trade with Precious. Deron Holmes is Precious with a jumper. So literally almost the same exact stats in terms of size, wingspan, and stuff like that. But he just has a better game. Deron Holmes, in terms of his shooting and stuff like that, has a really good motor. And so, Deron Holmes, all of a sudden, if we do decide to do more than one draft pick, obviously, I still think we should go Ryan Dunn with our first pick. But if we keep that second pick, then that's where I see, maybe somebody like a Deron Holmes setting. And now we have a stretch 5 option.
I wonder if doing the Mikal Bridges trade and re-signing OG Anunoby cools the Knicks front office desire for Ryan Dunn. What are your feelings about that?
I don't, because I just think it, as we know in this league, that even with the good news is Mikal Bridges has never missed a game. The bad news is statistically he's due to miss some games now. You just can't play in this league that long. But, no, I know that, but the bottom line is forget about Mikal. I think he'll be healthy. OG is consistently. So I think, what we talked about is the impact of having 2 lockdown wings at all times. So if OG is going to miss he averaged 52 games for the last 4 years. That means he missed 30 games. To have Mikal be here. So having a Ryan Dunn, go right in when OG needs some time off. Now we still have 2 lockdown wings until OG gets back. And the offense that we miss with OG will be distributed to the skill positions until OG gets back.
Who do you think's the odd man out now in the Knicks? Between Julius, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Mitch Robinson.
I think Hartenstein may have it. I don't think we're going to be able to keep him any longer.
So you think he's the main guy on the out for us?
I think so. I think that I was talking to JD about this. He mentioned that Tibbs just has this affection for Mitch, and it would be really, he's the longest reigning guy in the Knicks. Mitch, he's put his time in, and he keeps getting these injuries, and you could see in his tweets after he's injured, it breaks his heart that he's going to come back. I would love Mitch to be able to realize his potential. Like I said, all these are young men, and I just want the best for them. So it would be really crazy that iHeart goes, and and you and I talked today that you made a little whisper in last night's draft game, rightly so, about Julius Randle's shoulder. It's a type of injury that could come back. Folks, the Achilles injury, I did a lot of research on the Achilles injury that iHeart has. That's a recurring injury. When you rest it, it gets all better, but then once you start it back up, it comes roaring back. So, he got 8 up in the playoffs. iHeart, a lot of people can't forget that last game, and Mitch played a lot better against Embiid and others. So, I think it's a reality that we may lose iHeart, and like you said, we're going to need a replacement. But God willing, maybe Mitch could come in, and Tibbs gives him some hard love and just say, "Hey, this is it for you." Take the bull by the horns and come in the best shape of your career. I don't care, with that ankle or whatever, but we can't wait half a season for you to get back in shape. You gotta come here. I believe in you, Mitch. It's time that you start believing in you. You gotta be mature and come in the best shape of your career. And and if that happens, imagine, like I said, him being the anchor with Miles on one side and OG on the other. And we'll while Randall's still here, he's still a freaking all-star and all NBA player that we can't forget about.
All right, we got news on the second pick. It is Alex Sarr going to the Washington Wizards. That seemed like kind of like a no-brainer now at this point.
Well, it defies what I would add. Stefan Castle, like I said to you, is a jump shot away from Jimmy Butler. Phenomenal for a culture. If you're a Washington,
he's who I would have taken number one. He's
exactly.
who I would have easily taken number one. That guy is going to. He's the one guy who's got the real bona fide all-star potential. He's got to get that 3-point shooting.
Him and Ron Holland.
Yeah, they got. Ron Holland I like as well. But Castle's a proven winner. So that guy,
high IQ, proven winner, a dog, and like we just said, both
from a great program,
a championship program that when you win, man, that's contagious. You want to win again, and you're going to work hard to that. So wherever he's going, so I would have for teams that have some culture issues, I would have taken him just for his, like you said, I just see him. And like I said, Ron Holland is the best wing prospect in my book in this whole draft. So I would have definitely gone with those guys way before I went with Ricochet. And what they're doing, Ricochet and Sarr, is that they're hoping in 2 to 4 years they'll be a player, but they're not that player today.
Okay, so right now, it's the Rockets. The Rockets are on the clock. This is a big moment here because there's been rumors that they made some trades for draft picks, that they wanted to go heavy after Kevin Durant Kevin Durant or Devin Booker, one of the Phoenix Suns guys. So Reed Shepherd then would not make much sense because he's not a point guard. He's not going to be a point guard. Reed Shepherd.
There's no more point guard in our NBA though.
Yeah,
it's a position that
who's the point guard? 5.6 assists a game. That's pretty good in college.
I said to you, I only had 2 elite grades in this whole draft, and it was Reed Shepherd for his shooting and Ryan Dunn on his defense. Reed Shepherd is one of the best shooters I've seen in a long time. Hey man, over 50% from the floor, 50% from 3, and he could do it in all different ways. He has these great hands on defense, excellent anticipation. Like I said, his father was a pro player. I watched his interview today. You watched him talk, and coach would just said, "That's a kid I want to build a program around." So if you have the right thing where somebody kicks it out, you have to collapse because you have a Jalen Green or somebody like that, and you leave a guy like Reed Shepherd alone, you're in a lot of trouble, folks.
Jake Fisher just tweeted out, the Rockets had been telling teams all week Houston would wait to hear out trade offers when the number 3 pick came on the block. So this is going to be a very long 5 minutes here. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left on the clock here, according to the ESPN draft tracker. They got Donovan Clingan as best available.
Get the hell out of here.
Best fit is Reed Shepherd. Honestly, if I were the Rockets, man, I would take Stephen Castle. But
yeah,
the team picking right after the Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, and they will 100% not let Stephen Castle fall below them. They will grab him. He's young, perfect to build alongside of Victor. That would be, talk about that kind of talent pool right there. Young talent. But
also, a few years ago, was a guy I wanted the Knicks to take because I loved him on defense and his 3-point shooting, Devin Vassell. So now you have, Stefan Castle, Devin Vassell, Wemby. Yo, that's the nucleus, and they have a few other players there. So, and they have a pick a little later on, and a few picks from there. So very quickly, all of a sudden, it'll like 3 years from now, we're going to say San Antonio is a serious team.
They could even be next year.
It could even be next year.
All right, so this is a little late. Reed Sheppard did go number 3 to the Houston Rockets, which I think that's a huge mistake by Houston. I just don't see the fit there. I don't see why. I mean, I know he's a great 3-point shooter, but
he's a great shooter.
He can't defend for his life at all. And like I said yesterday, he's got these teeny little T-Rex arms. He's going to struggle to get his shot off against the big guards that are out there now in the NBA. So we'll see. He's got a pretty decent handle, though, from what I recall. I mean, who would be your best comp for Reed Sheppard?
I'll tell you right now. I have him as a better TJ McConnell, Kurt Heinrich. Although he's only 6'3", had a 42-inch vertical. You can't forget about that. One of the best shooters in the draft, 54% from the field, 52% from three, whether pull-ups, catch and shoot, or at the rim. He can create his own shot. He could hit it from anywhere on the court. High IQ. Father played for the Atlanta Hawks with his great feel and really good vision, good passer. He had a 2.2 assist to turnover ratio, great at pushing the ball with his transition passes. He's a pest like TJ with great hands and a motor. Averaged 2.6 steals and nearly 1 block per game. Potential issues against stronger, bigger, and athletic NBA players, both on offense and defense. He's probably best as a second team point guard, I wrote. Great kid for the locker room. Is just a real special kid.
Interesting to take someone like that as your number 3 pick when you have.
But the first two, like I said, are 3 years away. So the whole draft is like, oh my God, that's why I'm saying Stephen Castle was a no-brainer for me. He could do it today. Yeah.
Castle, Dalton Knecht, Devin Carter.
I love him.
If the Rockets were smart, they would have taken Nikola Topic. That guy might have the most talent of anyone in this draft because of the Achilles injury. But you know what? Just let him chill for a year. Rockets ain't winning shit next year. Sorry, Ime, you're not winning anything unless you even if you get Kevin Durant, you're not winning anything. So. If that could have happened, the Suns could have won last year, but they didn't. So this is a blunder by the Rockets, in my opinion. At best, Sheppard should go like 7th or something like that in this draft.
Yep.
Wow, that's not a shocker at all because he had been mocked to go there. But enough of all that. This is the mood for New York City, baby, right here. The big Tua, the big Hawk Tua right there. Thanks, David Futternick. He always puts out the most hilarious tweets, man. Love it. Oh, man. This is it's a beautiful. I just can't stop smiling. Cannot stop smiling. All right, where are we at right now in the draft? It is the
Spurs.
The Spurs are picking. Spurs are up. Look at they have their best fit, Matas Buzelis.
Get the hell out of here! That he has bust written all over. Meaning he's another one. He's so weak. he's literally 3 years away on both offense and defense.
Where do they get these grades? Like, how do they even?
I don't know. Are
they letting Pat GBT select these things? How do you pass up on Stephen Castle?
I'm with you, man.
Guy's 7. He's 19 years old. He just won a championship as a freshman, and he was the reason that they took control of that finals game in the first 5, 10, 6 minutes. He was all over the place, and he's an excellent defender. He's a hustle guy, and everything points to trending upwards for him.
I have old eyes. Is that saying the best on the clock, the best fit for the Spurs is Donovan Clingan?
No, best available. On the left side is best
Okay.
available.
Okay.
On the
I
right
can't
side is
see.
best
Okay.
fit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I know.
can't see how Matas does that. And best available. Get the hell out of here. How is Donovan Clingan? It's like I said, he's Walker Kessler. How would anyone in their right mind pick Walker Kessler at number 4?
Yeah. Well, at least he's going to give you some defense and stuff, Walker Kessler. But Clingan,
if somebody drives into the paint.
Yeah. But man, okay, we'll see. There's no doubt in my mind that the Spurs are going to pick Castle. They're just too smart. Just waiting to see the final read on this. Let's go back to here and see what our guy Shams and Woj always like tweet out right before the pick is announced.
Yeah, I know.
I got it here. No. Okay. At this point, it's still having. Maybe there's a deal brewing. Maybe there is a deal brewing. One team that could be really good next year are the Spurs, in my opinion. Victor is ready. He's ready to be an all-star next year. He's ready to be maybe a third-team all NBA kind of guy. He's generational talent. You don't want to waste seasons when you have somebody like that. So maybe the Spurs make a trade right here. Trade that 4th pick because Castle is going to be a special player for somebody. But if the Spurs feel like they actually can leapfrog several teams, I actually think they could be better than the Rockets without doing too much.
Especially, no doubt.
Yeah. So let's see what's happening here. Something could be brewing because by now, oh yeah, we got it. Shams tweeted it out. San Antonio is selecting Stefan Castle at number 4 in the NBA draft.
Yeah, yay. I have great size, combo guard. His strength and quickness allows him to get downhill and finish through contact. Very good rebounder, good handles with a high IQ, sound decision making, and a great feel for the game. Shot 47% from the floor, 27% from 3, 76% from the foul line. Must work on his jumper and his slow release. Multi-positional defender who guards opposing teams' best players and can switch. Good athlete, but not elite. Great kid and a hard worker. You know, the biggest thing is what position he's going to play in the NBA. He's not a playmaker to be a point guard, and at this point, he can't shoot well enough to really at that shooting guard. So he's going to lead with with his defense and being a connector like he was at Connecticut, UConn. But like I said, in the next year or so, that jumper comes around. He's going to have a hell of a career.
It could even be next year that jumper comes around. He gets into the lab this summer. It could even be this year. Let's see. They still got both sites still have on the clock, even though Shams already announced it. So, all right.
So my thing was Jimmy Butler if he gets a jumper and Evan Turner if he doesn't. Remember Evan Turner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real good
defensive. Evan Turner had that potential to really pop. He was a really good player. But,
great defensive player. His offensive game just never came around. So if his game doesn't come around,
injuries kind of held him back as well. Yeah. All right. No trades yet so far. Interesting. Just a reminder, tomorrow will be round 2. They're not doing both rounds in the same night anymore. And that will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to go to, what was it? They gave them like 2 minutes in between. I think, I don't know if they're going to go keep it that way. Maybe they'll just keep it at 5.
Because it's only 4 to 7, so it's going to be quick.
Yeah. So the first American player, Reed Shepherd, was selected number 3 by the Houston Rockets. And the second American player, was Stephen Castle, selected by the San Antonio Spurs. I think they got a great player. They are going to be incredibly happy with this guy. NBA Central tweeted this out. The Spurs just added this next to Wemby. San Antonio selects Stephen Castle.
Great kid, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Hardwell.
Yeah. You can see his form is a little off there on the 3-point shot.
Very slow release, man. He's got to fix that.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone went under the screen with him. They said shoot. They just don't respect him shooting.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Stephen Larson? Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Hey, yeah, if you guys are just joining now, which we started off by discussing the great news that just bookend an amazing 24 hours where the Knicks traded for Mikal Bridges, one of the top two-way wings in the NBA, indisputable, who has been a first-team all-defensive player in the past, and we re-signed OG Anunoby, who once traded to the Knicks, just transformed that starting lineup into the best starting lineup, best unit in NBA, like completely. No other lineup could even match the efficiency and effectiveness that lineup had with OG Anunoby and Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, Dante DiVincenzo, and of course Jalen Brunson. And now Mikal is going to be sliding into the 2 slot next to Brunson, and now we're going to have that length along the perimeter that we've desperately needed, but we still retain that tremendous 3-point scoring punch and activity that Dante can give us. The lineup combinations, it's going to be so much fun to play with that. Thibs is going to have a ball with that. Let's hope that he experiments a bit and that he even goes sometimes really small. Plays Julius at the 5 if Julius stays around.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, through JD via Tommy Beer, the most made corner 3-pointers in the NBA this decade, Mikal Bridges, 378. No other player has more than 325. Yeah, so
all right, here we go. We got Detroit Pistons on the clock.
I'm expecting, because of very similar to OG's agent being affiliated with the uppers, Matas Buzelis' agent is related or is the son of like the owner or something like that. So I think that there's a good
shocker here. The same 2 guys are the best available, best fit for the Pistons. Yeah. You can see ESPN is putting in the hard work here.
Yeah, I don't know this fascination with Donovan Clingan. It's just shocking the hell out of me. And also the G League, the Ignite, they had Mattis, they had Tyler Smith, they had Ron Holland, and they, with 3 guys like that are going to be top, first round guys, all of them, the team sucked brutally, really bad. So if it is Matas, I had nice size, average athleticism, doesn't have an elite skill, role player, not a dog, needs to work on a slow release shooting mechanics, only shot 26% from 3, has shown catch and shoot and off the dribble potential, has lots of dunks against terrible G League defenses, also had issues creating space and getting to his spots with physical defenders. Hasn't shown any playmaking skills with a terrible assist-to-turnover ratio of less than 1. Needs to work on his handle, especially in traffic. Needs better shot selection. Lack of strength impacts him on defense, especially in the paint. Slow on closeouts and slow feet. So, like I said, not meaning it to be mean, folks. Just as an analyst, black and white, what I saw. He's a poor man, Franz Wagner, if it does work out.
Yeah, but you know what I think it came from? Isn't it that in the NBA All-Star weekend, didn't he get some burn in one of those, like the Rising Stars game or something like that? And I think he looked kind of good in it. I think that kind of helped him.
He had an unbelievable high school, Cooper Flag, like a high school career. So everyone saw this, and then he killed himself and went to the G League. These kids got to go to college. Please don't go to G League. We saw Jalen Green. We saw Scoot Henderson. We've seen everybody that's come out of the G League. It takes them 2 years. It's like Alec Burks coming from Detroit. It takes time to get that out of your system until you can finally shake off the stink, man. So, but I would not be surprised that's the pick here because of family affiliation and his agent.
Hey, so Jay Bilas says Stephon Castle could be a bigger Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bigger. He's 6'7", and 6'7.5", right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, he's 6'7". He's a 6'7", so he would be a bigger Drew. He is strong. Interesting comp.
It is. Well, they're both winners. So, Drew, in fact, JD and I were talking about it, that I knew when the Celtics signed Drew, that they were going to win it. That's the type of player he is. That Marcus Smart is a heartbreaker. Drew Holiday is a winner. And sure enough, so anytime you're getting comped to Drew Holiday, yo, that's a compliment, because that is a class act.
Totally. That is quite a compliment. Nice little combo. You know what? Fucking Spurs. They may have just gotten incredibly lucky in the draft once again. Any of those three teams could have picked this kid.
No doubt.
Unbelievable. I'm kind of shocked, honestly. I didn't do a mock draft this year. Didn't have time, and usually I do the mega mock draft, where I aggregate all these like 7 different drafts together. It's amazing how shockingly accurate they become, especially over time as they finesse them a little more when the draft days come about. But I wasn't able to do that this year, and it really wasn't necessary. But my guy who I would have put as number 1 would have been this guy, Stephen Castle.
No doubt.
I would have put him as number 1. And Reed maybe down 7, 8, just because it's such a weak draft, but he is an outstanding shooter. So right now on the clock is still the Detroit Pistons. There's no word yet. Here it is, your guy, Holland.
Oh my God, great pick.
Ron
pick.
Holland.
Smart pick. Hey, he was number 1 on my board, folks. So, I respect that. Everyone was saying with that, hey, you just heard me say, Metas, how do you pick a guy with all those deficiencies that, it's going to take several years for him to really be a player? Shot 27% for 3. Ron Holland, elite and explosive athlete with incredible motor, especially on defense, dynamic finisher at the rim, at the rim and in transition. Shot 46% from the floor, 24% from 3, 73% from the foul line. Showed flashes as a spot up shooter and off the dribble. Very difficult for young players to develop in the G League, like I mentioned before. It's going to take time, for him to be more than a cutter or a transition offensive player. He's an excellent rebounder, hasn't shown any rebounding skills. The good news is that he's ready for the NBA on the defense, defending 1 to 4. He's disruptive and a terror on the perimeter. He's only a pup. He'll get stronger and better on D. Only the Lord knows if that shot comes around, but if it does, he's a real hard worker. I've just heard phenomenal things. Very competitive, hard worker. That shot comes around. I have a comp for him as Ben Mathurin, actually.
That's a nice comp.
A more athletic Ben Mathurin.
That's a nice compliment.
Well, he doesn't have Mathurin's shot, but he has the potential.
Dog. Matherin's got that beastly dog thing that we love. You and I love.
Yeah, and everybody forgets that Indiana was missing him in the playoffs.
They really weren't. They were, especially against Boston, a team like Boston.
And he made all rookie, and if people forget that, he was an all rookie player and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wiz BKLA says Shepard would have been at a 8 to 10. So Houston should have traded back and picked up a future first. I don't know.
More first they need
in a regular draft year. That's maybe about the range for the best pure shooter. But then there's also Jared McCain is also competing with him as far as the best pure shooter. But Shepard's athleticism helps him. I don't think he would have drifted past like Portland at 7. So Houston would have had to maybe trade it down. Maybe they could have gotten down to 6 right now. I doubt it. It's a weak draft, guys. What are we going to say? But there are guys who can turn into something over time. And this is one of those guys. Ron Holland is one of those guys. I do love his game. He's a multi-level scorer. He's got a nice little move there.
As-
Euro
but-
going. Look at that.
ex-
Just a little step back
Look
three.
at that burst. Yeah, but look at the burst, man. That you can't teach that, folks.
Yeah.
That
Beautiful.
it's a game about getting to your spots on both sides, offense and defense, and he has that type of athleticism on the defensive side to get to the player he's defending spot first to throw him off their game, and on offense, if it turns around, look at that dunk right there, man. Yo,
yeah. Whoa. Yeah. I mean, these are G League opponents, though, but
still, you can't teach this type of explosion.
All right, so Pistons draft him. He's 6'7", so he's actually shorter than their point guard, Cade. He could be nice next to Cade, though. He's more of a forward, though. He's not really.
I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be, Jaden Ivey and stuff like that. How if he's going to be the shooting guard or
he might be more of a power forward. He's kind of a short power forward, but
who?
Holland.
That's the fastest power. I see him as a 2-3. I definitely don't see him as a 4. Yeah.
Some people were talking about him as kind of a tweener. But all right, good. I mean, that's a great pickup for the Pistons in this draft.
I'm glad because some of the draft choices of the last year, like what the hell are they doing over there, man?
Yeah. This is the mock draft from Tankathon right here, just because they list they have the stats and stuff nearby here, so it makes it easier. But let's see where we're at right now. What are they? NBA home. No, they haven't updated theirs. They don't do it that way. But the NBA.com does do it. Charlotte Hornets are on the clock right now. They have just 28 seconds left to make their selection. And the same two dudes are listed on ESPN as best available and best fit. Wow. I'm kind of shocked by that.
I wouldn't be surprised Mattis drops a lot further. This draft's, oh my God, look how far he's dropping.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he could be the one that slips down. Let's see. Right now, the pick is in. Who is it? Who is going to be the dude? So Donovan Clingan has, quote, fallen, according to these mock draft boards. Not to me.
Us. Yeah.
Us. Neither of us. Okay, so NBA Central. I don't know if this is accurate because I haven't heard it from anywhere else. Donovan Clingan next to Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be crazy. Memphis moves up to number 6 to select their big man.
Well, they've missed Steven Adams. They want a Steven Adams replacement. They don't want Jaren Jackson playing that 5. He gets beat up. Throw him to the 4. They want that old, like I said. So he'll be the Steven Adams replacement. Clingan.
No, that's so that is not an accurate story right there. The Charlotte Hornets are selecting, unless they're making a trade, they're selecting Tijan Salawan.
Wow. You know what? San Antonio is going to be pissed. That was San Antonio, another Frenchman that I think Victor Wembanyama wanted to play with one of his countrymen over there. So, wow.
There it is. According to Woj, Charlotte is keeping the pick and focused on Tijan Salawan. Sources tell ESPN. Clingan will make it to the Blazers at number 7. That doesn't mean they're picking him. They're just saying he's going to. So he's sliding down. It happens every year. There's a guy that starts getting a lot of heat in the press, a lot of buzz. But in the end, it was all kind of like misdirection.
Yes, Salawan, is 6'9", 7'1" wingspan, athletic wing that has 3 levels scoring potential. Only 18, very raw, several year project. European fans call him the French Giannis. Shot only 32% from three. Needs to improve his shot selection and scoring in the paint. Best at shooting off the dribble. Needs to improve his rebounding and must hit the weight room and get stronger. Hasn't shown any playmaking skills with a terrible assist to turnover ratio, less than 1. Okay on defense. Must show more discipline. But he's a pup. He's another guy.
He's one of the youngest in the draft.
Yep.
He's a project. He's a project.
Love his mechanics. I think his mechanics, his shooting will get there. You and I were doing a show, I think, during the Knicks run in the playoffs, and I brought up that I was watching this kid that he has really nice shooting mechanics, and when it comes all together, man. So I definitely know San Antonio wanted this kid.
But he's going to Charlotte.
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, if you think about it,
Bridges, they have him there.
So you have LaMelo, you have Miles at the 2, you have Brandon, you have Miller at the 3, and I guess you're going to now have this kid at the 4 with Mark Williams at the 5.
Yeah, here it is. This could be. I like. It's an aspirational pick. They felt that he had a higher upside. I think it's a nice pick. This is a nice pickup.
He played really well in the playoffs at the end of the season. So with all the scouts watching, he turned it on, this kid. And again, he's 18 to play. He's playing against men. People, folks, the European League. So why is Luka so great? Luka, as a kid, was playing against men, so he learned the game at a whole different level of physicality, Luka Doncic. So this kid also is a kid playing against men, and he played phenomenal. So it's a sound pick. And in fact, I said, JD said, who are guys home run that could turn into something really special down the road? My number one guy on that list was Tejan Saloon.
3 of the top 6 picks so far in the 2024 NBA draft are all from France.
Yeah, I said that to you. It was going to be 3 out of
Even though Alexander Sarr, you have him listed here, is playing in Perth, Australia, but he's French born. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, so this draft is already what I'm seeing from this draft is teams are picking potential and high upside over what a player can like. What it seems obvious that a player will be able to give you right away. They're looking at
best player available.
Yeah, best player available. Unlike what ESPN has listed here as Donovan Clingan as the best player available. Best available talent. That doesn't make any sense. So the teams are showing the draftologists. They're kind of shaming them a little bit here, except for the Reed Shepherd pick. I think that's way too high for him, for a guy his size. On the clock right now is Portland.
Clingan, he shot 25% from 3, and he shot 58% from the foul line. Clingan I have as an old school center with a massive 7'7" wingspan. Absolutely terrible combine stats, where he finished last in lane agility, shuttle, 3/4 sprint, and vertical, which shows his incredible lack of speed, which means he'll get slaughtered on the perimeter. He's limited to drop coverage. Well, he will absolutely be a rim protector. He has very good fundamentals, sets really good screens. He's good on the roll, on the pick and roll. He has good hands. He blocks out well. He fights for rebounds, but he can't shoot. He has no touch. He sustained a right foot strain and a tendon injury in the same foot this past season. So I had like I said to you, and I had Walker Kessler as my comp for him. So how do you pick somebody with that stuff that can't shoot, so high like that?
I don't know. Teams just have the emphasis in the wrong spots, but that's just what they were predicting. It hasn't happened. The actual teams are showing us that they are focused on the right things right now. Mm-hmm. They're focused on athleticism. They're focused on winning attitude. They're focused on, tremendous potential. These two have a lot of potential, but not of the level that a normal 1 and 2 would get in an NBA draft.
That's pretend. You're like they're drafting for potential for 2 to 3 years with their fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. See here what is going to happen now. Portland is position. Did Portland take him?
Who did Portland take?
I think it's being rumored that Portland took Klingon.
Yeah. Well, they have a mess at the.
Yep, here it is. Portland is selecting Donovan Klingon at number 7 in the NBA draft. So that's as far as he fell.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of issues at the 5. Aiden is a freaking head case. You know, he has talent, but everywhere he goes, he wears out his welcome. Time Lord, you know, he can never stay healthy. So
I could see Aiden being like, let's say he has this, like a decent season going. I could see him being a trade deadline move.
Yeah, but what you were saying, who wants to bring on a malcontent to a team?
Yeah, you know, I know, but what if he shows that, you know, he's been on a finals team. So what if he shows that, you know, he's gotten his act somewhat together enough? He's giving them a decent season. Actually, he did have some decent numbers for them.
He definitely does, but he's just a consistent prick in the locker room. So no, seriously, he's not well liked. So
consistent prick.
So Klingon, it's just showing that they felt that 5 was an unstable position for them, and it, you know, get this behemoth of a human being there. He'll definitely block shots.
There he is. Here he is. Klingon has been taken 7th by the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, so you pick 7th, and you got a guy who shoots 58% from the foul line, has no touch. You know, and like we said, nobody misses on mixtape, so it looks great here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at those blocks. Let's see. Okay. Hey, I mean, I think they're kind of hoping he would be kind of like a Brook Lopez.
For sure. Absolutely. That's a great comp. Meaning a great wish list.
A great wishful comp, yeah. But I think that's their high end. That's what they're hoping for, that he'll be somebody like that.
Yep.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while because you have to learn the game, the pro game. You got to learn what players' tendencies are.
Hey,
Brooke, put in the work.
You and I saw Brooke, you know, when he came out with his brother from Stanford, that you know, he was a post player. He didn't become a 3-point shooter until later in his career. He reimagined himself and became a different player.
Yeah,
to his credit.
Yeah, to his credit. That's what people got to do. Thanks, Steve Larson, for the update. Mets are 4-0 in the 5th inning rain delay.
Oh man,
you're a Yankees guy, right? Of course you are.
I'm a Bronx boy.
Yeah.
I'd be kicked
out. I'm a Queens guy. You remember Regal Park, Flushing? You know, lifelong Mets fan. These Subway series are awesome. I wish I could be there to see those.
And I get kicked out. I was a Castle Hill project. So I'd lose my credit if I ever said Mets.
All right. Hey, we got about 100 in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us here on draft day. It's been quite a 24 hours for the New York Mets franchise. They have at this point created the perfect team to dethrone the Boston Celtics. That is my opinion on that. I felt it last night, even before we knew that OG was returning, because I hedged that OG would be returning. And it was announced today that he intends to re-sign with the Knicks for a 5-year, $212.5 million contract. And what that also means is that the Philadelphia 76ers are kind of on the outs. They're a bit screwed because the Sixers could have made a deal for a Mikal Bridges. He is actually, he was originally drafted by them, shockingly, and they traded him on draft day. And they were also looking at taking OG from us. So now they won't even have a chance to do that. It's putting the pressure on them to maybe make that big move, that big sign and trade move for a Paul George.
They're under pressure now. Now they're like, man, we got to keep up with the Knicks. We got to, we have the Celtics ahead of us. All that we got to do something quick. So now they're under pressure.
They're under tremendous pressure, and so are the Bucks.
Yeah, for sure.
So are the Bucks. So this is it's such a great feeling to be on this side. Usually we're on the other side. Remember this day that, what is it, 5-6 years ago when we read Durant, Irving going to the Nets, or like when LeBron, Bosh, going to Miami. Meanwhile, they wanted to come to New York with Melo, but Melo didn't buy into that deal at the time. So we were always, on the outside looking in, and now it's the reverse. It's a beautiful situation. This is what the deal might look like. Just to recap, in case you missed the early part, it looks like the starting salary will be at around $36.6 million per year, and by the fifth year, it will be $48.3 million. But as percentage of the cap, that's going to drop about what it was. I forgot exactly now. What Tommy Beer tweeted out, about 5 to 6%, which is significant considering how much the salaries are going up. It also means that most likely Julius Randle will not get a contract extension this season, and he will become a free agent next summer, and the Knicks can choose to bring him back then. And maybe possibly at that point, he will have had the chance to redeem himself in the playoffs, and he'll be holding the NBA trophy as he's negotiating his deal with Leon.
Absolutely.
That would be a fun thing. That would be
a great thing.
Yeah. Here we go. Right now, after the OG Anunoby before the Bridges trade, the Knicks had the 8th best title odds. Then last night, after the Miles trade, they went up to top 5. They're tied for 5th, and now they're tied for 4th. But I've seen in other places where they're tied for 2nd, where it's Boston and it's Knicks and Nuggets tied for 2nd best odds to win the NBA championship.
Oh, and if we make a couple of more moves, that I think that'll change even further.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think people are waiting to hear about what's going to happen with our center situation. All right, we have right now word that Rob Dillingham is the number 8 pick to San Antonio, with the Spurs in conversation with Minnesota.
I was about to say that makes no sense with the guards that Portland has on that team to bring in another guy like that.
Yeah, no, it's San Antonio. It's San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio?
San Antonio's picking him at number 8 with the possible intention of trading him to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Actually, I think Dillingham is perfect because of his defensive problems. He can't stop anyone. That Wemby and if you have Castle there, that he's the most electric scorer in this draft. Rob Dillingham. He's the best microwave scorer. So having a back line that could take, compensate for some of his defensive woes, where he can really show off his offensive skills, that would probably, in my book, would have been the best place for him.
Would have been San Antonio?
San Antonio.
Yeah. His shot selection worried me, though.
He's a kid.
Yeah. He's a kid, but still, a lot of times it felt like, dude, I don't know. A lot of times I was like, dude, it's like you can't hero ball it unless you're going to, actually deliver and be the hero. And a lot of times he did, but a lot of times he did not. And that's why Kentucky were a big disappointment in March Madness. I really thought they were going to go far, and because of boneheaded type play, low basketball IQ type play as his, it hurt them tremendously. However, everything you said about his shooting ability, his offensive game is there. If he can refine all of that, that guy could become, like you said, like an excellent 6th man.
Well, I have Lou Williams as his comp.
Lou's a good comp. Because Lou's like that guy. He had to refine his shot selection
for sure. Best microwave scorer, and shot creator in the draft. Super quick, can score in bunches, but is streaky. As you just said, has bad shot selection, and he could let his emotions impact him. Shot 47% from the floor, 44% from three. Good pull-up shooter and midi game. Good mechanics with quick release. See him as a sixth man and a shooting guard more than a point guard. He's small at 164 pounds, which impacts his finishing and ability to fight through contact. He can't stop anyone on defense at the point of attack and getting around screens. He's going to get killed. And if you have him to switch on D, you just hope he doesn't give up more points than he scores. That's what he wrote.
Looking like Wiz Khalifa. Lex. Oh shit, that's funny.
It is. He only has a 6'3" wingspan, but he can score. And also, even though he's so diminutive, I have him as the best finisher in the draft. In my finishers, I had him as the best finisher statistically in the draft. Even though he's so tiny, he's the fastest player in the draft. So, he's I had him as the top 5 best shooters in the draft. So there's a lot to like, other than, statistically, there's just not a lot of guys that have had long careers at 160 pounds in this league.
Let's be a little honest. You think he can really run the point on an NBA team? Yeah, so that's what his size dictates. But I don't think his skill and basketball IQ.
Did Lou Williams run the point? And he was a point guard.
At times,
he's a chucker. That's what and that's what Rob Dillingham's going to be. He's going to be a 6-man because you can. He's a chucker.
We got news. There has been a trade. Age Wojnarowski has tweeted out the Timberwolves are trading a 2031 unprotected first and a protected 2030 pick swap to the Spurs for Dillingham. So the Spurs did pick him.
Well, it's the same mentality I just said. I thought a great thing is having Wemby as a backup because of his defensive woes. In this case, he has Gobert.
Yeah.
And also Jaden
McDaniel, Gobert. He can be that microwave scorer off the bench. Because the Wolves did struggle a little bit with creating offense when Ant Edwards was on the bench. He's young. What if a few things click the right way? Bulks up a little bit, but doesn't lose any speed. He could be a nice 6-man pickup.
No doubt.
And it's not like the Timberwolves can do much either, because I think they're kind of stuck right now with the way their salary cap is structured, the way their roster is structured. So, interesting pickup right there. Okay, so right now,
well, they're hoping the Spurs that in 7 years he's going to suck. They're going to suck and get a great draft choice.
Yeah. So right now, here's what we got. We got Rob Dillingham traded by the Spurs, selected by the Spurs, being traded to Minnesota for 2031 unprotected first and a protected 2030 pick. So now it's we got 2 Kentucky guys selected in the top 8, which is normal, usual, that happens. 2 Connecticut guys selected in the top 8, and 3 Frenchmen selected in the top 6. 1 G League player, which is Foxy's, would have been Foxy's number 1 pick. Ron Holland too, and my guy would have been Stephen Castle. He would have been my easily number 1 pick in this particular draft. So it's going along. Nothing super shocking, other than the teams are actually being smarter in their selections than
fundamentals.
Yeah. So that's good to see. It's really good to see. Wow. Now on the Memphis takes Zach Edey at number 9.
That like we said, that is your Steven Adams replacement.
There we go.
Massive individual, folks. Basically a 7'11" wingspan. We talked about it last night. George sets the best screens in the draft.
300 pounds, but but pretty active, pretty mobile for a 300-pound, 7'4" player.
Yeah.
Multi-sport athletic, played baseball. I forgot the third sport, but you know, I like him. I like him as an old school type center who can over time learn to shoot the three, could learn to space the floor a bit, but he's so big that you kind of don't want him too far away from the paint. He's a nice pickup. You know, he could be an excellent backup center. He could also be a starting center on on a play-in type competing team.
Yeah, when you have a Ja Morant, he's you're gonna say, "Oh my God, here comes Ja," and the next thing you know, Ja throws a lob and this guy's dunking it. So, having Jared Jackson right next to you for weak side defense. Yeah, like I said, this is going through their blueprint again, getting a big guy, moving Jackson to
I got to put this as a good pick for Memphis. Considering they got JJJ and Ja Morant, and then they still have a Bane on that squad. They got Marcus Smart, who they might look at moving, but they still have him. This is a nice selection. This has improved the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, he shot 71% from the foul line. So that's
the other big thing we talked about last night. A guy that huge is going to get pounded on. He's going to get fouled a lot, especially late in games, and he's shooting at 71%. That's decent enough to make it not enticing to hack him. No hack-a-zack.
Yeah, and you made a brilliant point before that in the next 5 years, I think he's going to evolve to try to be more like a Brook Lopez and add a few more things to his game.
Because he's a lot more athletic than he looks, because he's just so huge and lumbering. Unlike Victor, who is very thin and agile, he has kind of like guard-like spring to him. Yeah. Zach is more of a typical giant, but he's unlike a typical giant, he is actually athletic. He can move pretty well. Look at that nice hook. That hook it's not going to be easy for teams to stop that hook.
Did you notice the hook with either hand too?
Yeah, both ambidextrous. You can block with both hands, which is nice. All right, that is a nice pickup for Memphis so far.
And last but not least, he was College Player of the Year.
College Player of the Year. He's a winner. That's the other big thing.
Yeah. So he has the credentials.
So far, other than I mean, for me, the Hawks and Wizards, whatever, picking the two French guys, 1 and 2, whatever. I can see the logic in it. They have unique physical attributes, so I get that. But the real stretch pick to me was Reed Shepherd at number 3. That I don't think that should have been the pick. But other than that, I don't have much issue. I think I would give all of these picks. Oh, and then Utah Jazz comes in with Cody Williams at number 10.
Smart move.
Yeah. Now, he suffered an injury, which is probably why he dropped this far. Interesting. Cody Williams going.
They had one of my favorite players from last year, Taylor Hendricks, on that team, who had a very nice rookie season that a lot of people talk about. So, now they have Taylor Hendricks, and they're going to have Cody Williams. There's length there, man. They're starting to build that team age.
Yeah. Lex is asking, do we Think Ware will be there?
Where?
It's Kel'el Ware. Will
at 24?
24 for us.
I don't think so. I think Pelicans. I think a few teams may go that way with him. Just quick on Cody Williams. I'm sure most of you know, but he's the brother of Jalen Williams of OKC. But he has totally different body type, high IQ player, prototype size and length for a wing, good athlete, but not explosive. Average first step, uses angles, had issues creating separation, can play and cover multiple positions 1 through 3. Good handles, can break down the defense, get to the hole and finish. He has a sweet floater, good shooting mechanics, shot 55% from the floor, 42% from the three, but that's misleading because of the volume. 71% from the foul line, that has to be much higher. Shot less than 2 3-pointers per game. Current game, mostly middies and going to the hole. Must get stronger and gain weight. Won't be able to hold his spot in the NBA. It's going to take 2 to 3 years. Great defensive upside with his length in the passing lanes. Has great feet and motor. Had several wrist and ankle injuries this past season. So he's very, he gets beat up easy, this kid.
So there's only 3 lottery picks left because we know Chicago is planning on to select Matas Buzelis with the number 11 pick in the 2024 NBA draft, per Jake Fisher's source. The Philly Nation guy says the Bulls are hilarious, and then Lakers in 4 wrote great value.
Well, maybe in 3 years it'll be great value, but the next 3 years he'll be a lot of time in the G League because he won't be able to do shit in the NBA against the strength of NBA players.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by his game. I think he's another guy who is going to probably disappoint. He's not another guy, but he is one of the guys who's going to end up disappointing, I think, from this draft. But he's off the board, so that's good. That means, guys, let's get over to some of the Knicks players, guys that we have been looking at for the Knicks. We got Ryan Dunn. We have Kel'el Ware. And we have I like Terrence Shannon Jr. I think he's like a kind of could be a steal late. I did a little more research on him this morning.
Me too.
Yeah, he's got tremendous athleticism. Tremendous first step.
Especially that in the open court.
The guy is a transition beast. He's another lefty.
He's like a running back that's coming at you don't want to get in front of this kid and just meaning you blink and it's like he took 3 dribbles or 2 dribbles and he's dunking it. So he flies. He's phenomenal. I'm sure that you watched it. His jumper, his mechanics need a lot of work, but he brought it up. But he's a dog, man. So teams are gonna like him. So he has that. I said when you watch him, he's a lefty and stuff. How can't you see Kelly Oubre in his game? Mm-hmm. And you watch Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yeah, and down at that, in the low 20s or mid 20s or whatever, to get someone with his offensive prowess, I think it would be a steal for him.
If something happens, Ryan Dunn is not in the on the table any longer. Terrence Shannon is not a generational defender, but he's a serious defender. He's definitely an NBA player, a very good NBA defender. Yeah. So
I'm surprised they have him listed here as his weaknesses is the draft rating and draft defensive rating and defensive win shares. Because what I saw
5 years in college.
Yeah, what I saw was a guy who had a nose for the ball. He was after it. He loved to get steals. He got a lot of blocks. And very similar, that left hand, very similar to who we were just talking about, Ryan Dunn. But he has that athleticism that I love. Oh, apparently Matas is a hometown Chicago guy?
He is. Absolutely.
Okay. So that makes a little bit of sense there. Yeah. So this guy's the guy that, I want to put on the radar for you guys if you didn't see our show yesterday. And of course, Ryan Dunn is a tremendous. He's the best defensive player available. He's probably one of the best defensive prospects that have come out in years. Honestly, similar size to Terrence, but bigger wingspan.
Much bigger wingspan.
Yeah, much bigger wingspan. The problem with him is, he's not, he doesn't have the 3-point shot. His offensive game is limited. You'd be getting him for his superior defensive ability, which would fit well with the Knicks.
Yeah,
Uh,
but also he's 2 years younger than Shannon. In 2 years, when they're let's see what happens in 2 years with Ryan under good
mhm.
tutelage.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's going to be interesting if we keep the 24th and 25th pick, and we take two wings like these.
Oh, Wilbur.
Wow. Because you take them. This is what I would do. I know, because I think we can pick up Goga Batazzi to if we do somehow lose Isaiah Hartenstein. And I know they're different kind of players, but at this point, I know that Thibs could make it work. You take these two guys, and if you hit with one of them, it's fantastic. They can also become trade pieces. If something else happens later on, maybe next year, we need to bolster one other aspect of our roster. He could be a guy that we flip for somebody else, like the way that Trey Murphy became a beautiful prize player for the Pelicans. Same for Herb Jones. He did this in Pelicans as well. Terry Eason. Unfortunately, injuries did derail him a bit, but he's that kind of player. These guys are in that level, but Ryan Dunn probably is.
But like
would
you just
would
said,
you say he's a better could project to be a better defender than Herb Jones?
oh, absolutely, because he has the he's more athletic. So I'm all about athleticism. So when you just said Ryan Dunn and Terrence Shannon at 24, 25, I've been saying for ages, me, that this team needs a terrible injection of athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get it with a blink, but all of a sudden we have two guys that are electric.
So Cody Williams went to Utah Jazz at number 10. Good pick for them. I think it's a really good pick from him. He's from Colorado.
Won't be pressure on him. He'll be able to develop in that environment.
Yeah, I think that's nice. And then the Bulls got him at Matas at 11. On the clock is OKC, and then Sacramento Kings, and then the Portland Trailblazers round out the lottery.
Kel'el Ware may go 13 to Sacramento.
Okay, there we go. You just heard it, guys. Prediction.
We'll see, but I think from 13 onward is the Kel'el Ware. Just meaning that if Donovan Clingan could go that high, I like Zach Edey better than him, so I have no issues with Memphis taking him. But this is where I think that they'll take him. Somebody will I have a thing from an analyst standpoint. I don't put anyone where I have a motor issue. I don't have a first round grade on somebody that has motor issues.
The only way you overcome a motor issue is if you just have a superior talent at something, and you're just like an amazing 3-point shooter, deep ball 3-point shooter like that, or you're an amazing passer, playmaker. But low motor is tough. It felt like we've had some guys like that. Kevin Knox felt like that kind of guy. All the talent, all the shooting talent was there.
Cam Reddish.
Just the motor was low. Cam, I don't know. I guess you could put him in that bucket as well. But yeah, it's hard to overcome a low motor. Bobby Marks tweeted this out not that long ago. Latest New York breakdown. This is very fluid, and the Bridges trade still has not happened. Includes both first round picks, 11 players under contract, $6.6 million below the first apron. They have the vet minimum at $2.1 million and a second round pick at $1.1 million. And this is how it breaks out according to him. Starting five. Look at that beautiful starting five. Yes. Reserves: Deuce, Dante, Josh Hart, Jericho Sims. He's on a 2-way deal, I believe. The Knicks still have their 24th, 25th, and 38th picks. Yes, Connect and Carter are still out there. Devin Carter is going to be a steal for somebody. So the guys who picked the Bulls picking Matas over him, they're going to regret that. But jumping back over here, the key free agents the Knicks still have: Isaiah Hartenstein, Alec Burks, and Precious Achiuwa. Burks, I highly doubt he'll be back. And we have a second round exception and a veteran minimum. The committed salary is $172 million for next season. The tax threshold is 171.3. The first apron is 178.7. So we are currently under the first apron, 6.6 million, as Bobby spelled out here. And we are the second apron is 189.5 million. So we're okay right now. The trick is, how do we bring Isaiah Hartenstein back?
Or how do you bring 3 more players on a contract to meet the
demands? Yeah, with only 6.6 million.
The league rules. Yeah.
To me, I could see. Well, here's the thing. If we get all the guys we need, I'm okay with going over the apron. Even going over the second apron, I'm okay with it.
Hey,
next year's a
Golden
championship run.
State. You saw Golden State, man. Their salary when they winning everything is like, hey, I want to win championships. I'll pay that tax.
Mm-hmm. Steve Larson says Knicks might take Topic shelf for a year. I think that's a great idea. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that with one of those 2 picks. But we thing is, we need somebody else here in this rotation. But if he's available there at 24, don't you think we take him, Foxy?
I don't think he'll make it to 24. He has way too much talent. He has a lot of issues, whether his shot will come around, whether he's going to be able to deal defensively, his lack of athleticism, but he just sees the floor at a very high advanced rate. You know, he gets to the hole. I don't think anyone breaks down a defense as well as Topic in this draft. You know, he has great size.
OKC agrees with you. They selected him at number 12.
Well, he's the Josh Giddey replacement.
Yeah, there you go.
So, you know, that big guy, he sees that, and they have Kason Wallace there, you know, as their point guard. So they have, like you said, they could watch. But I said it last night, folks, on the show. He's a very good player, this kid. Look at him, you know, and he grew up. His father's a really famous coach. He grew up in the gym. I love kids like that. You know, like I said, he's been playing against men, you know, for a long time. So he's very advanced.
And it's kind of widely viewed throughout the league that if he had been healthy, he probably might have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that ACL.
Look at that injury. Jeez. Yeah. But he's only.
Did you see that? He's a pup. I'll tell you in a sec. He is, he is,
he's 18.
He's 18 years old. Exactly. He'll be 19 next August. No, this August. You know, and it's so weird. It's so bizarre because I have great size with excellent vision, passing, working the pick and roll and feel for the game. His dad was a player and coach. He grew up on a basketball court, shot 52% within the arc, but only 31% from 3, can play on or off ball, and is a crafty shot creator. Sound shooting mechanics, good touch, and almost 90% foul shooting. He will improve. Average athleticism, has major issues with quicker players when creating his own shot and stopping them on defense. Gets blown by. Health concerns for recently. He had several non-contact knee injuries, you know, where his knee just buckled, which scares the hell out of me. But it's so weird. I forgot about it because I have so many numbers going through my head. My comp for him was Josh Giddey.
Nice job. Nice.
Who came into the league with his shot questionable, but not his vision of the court.
Hey, so right now we're going to take a little bit of a 2-minute break. Going to leave this up. We will be back within 2 minutes. Just got to refresh my water and maybe make some water.
Exactly. I got to take a squirt too.
But we will be right back. You guys stand by. Thanks for sticking with us. Love you guys. Here we go. Hey, Foxy.
Oh, thank you. That felt great.
Yeah, we needed that. All right, we are back. And
Back in the saddle again.
we are back. So is 5.5 without shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying he was 6'4", and he's like, no, he's not. He's,
no. You can see how
he's 6'7" with sneakers, actually.
Yeah. And he's so young. He might even grow a little bit more, half inch easily. I can see that. All right, where are we at right now? The Kings are on the clock. Devin Carter to Sacramento.
Wow, that's a little crazy. Just meeting with De'Aaron Fox and
Devin.
Yeah, the diminutive little guy,
Devin
Mitchell. Thank you, out of Baylor. So, wow, I'm surprised.
Interesting. I wonder if that is an indicator that some moves may be coming in the future for the Kings.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's an.
He got Malik Monk. Yeah.
Cheers, Foxy. Man, this has been fun. Thank you guys for joining us here. I've always wanted to do a watch along for the draft. And this year with the Knicks, we still have we have 3 picks to go, but tonight we have at least potential of 2 picks to make unless we make a trade. So far, there's only been one draft day trade, which is what was it again? I forgot who it was. Rob Dillingham is being traded from the San Antonio Spurs to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I don't think the Timberwolves have a first round pick. Oh, no, they do. They have the 27th pick. So I think, it's a nice hedge for the Timberwolves. Dillingham is obviously a microwave scorer. Maybe they can, teach him the ways of smart basketball. They obviously have a great coaching staff there. Playing next to Ant Edwards could be really interesting for him. Could open up a lot of room for him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the only trade. I will tell you, I'm being honest with you guys right now. Ryan Dunn is still out there. Now, I know that there are a lot of people who think because we made that Mikal Bridges trade and then resigned OG Anunoby today. If you missed that news, just look down there. OG Anunoby got signed by the New York Knicks. He's returning to the Knicks, and now the Knicks will have 2 of the very best two-way wings in the NBA. Outstanding wings, all defensive level wings that can both average 20 points a game, each of them. And they're both high efficiency scorers. So some people think we may, getting someone like a Ryan Dunn may be redundant. I don't think that way. In my opinion, in today's NBA, you cannot have enough 6'7" guys and up that can defend. You just can't have enough of those guys. Now, his offensive game is a little limited at the moment, but as Foxy, Foxy, you break him down. Basically, you're going to repeat the great stuff you said yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, about his Herb Jones college comps.
Yeah. For matter of fact, right here, I have it right here. Da-da-da-da. Give me a sec.
Portland is on the clock currently. The pick is in for Portland. Let's see. We have to go back to this over here. Oh, no, I do not want to remove that. Okay, pick is in. Jacoby Walters, an interesting player as well. He's a little short.
I'll go over in a second, but he's definitely as a spot up a 3-point shooter in the right setup, he could be, very, very good.
Just checking all our stuff here. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Let's see. Interesting. Devin Carter to Sacramento. Nice pickup for them. Okay. We have information on the 14th pick to the Portland Trailblazers, and it is Carlton Carrington to the to the Wizards at 14. What? Did they trade? Did Portland trade this pick to the Wizards? Yes, he's on his way to the Wizards. So not only were we out there, thanks to Jake Fisher on the cusp here. So Portland drafted Bub Carrington or Carlton Carrington, and they are trading him to the Wizards. So interesting. The Wizards have picked up Alexander Sarr tonight, and now they have just picked up Bub Carrington. I actually don't know too much about him. I didn't really scout him out too much. What do you know about him, Foxy?
Excellent athlete, superb agility and explosion, quick first step, flies with the ball in his hands, especially in transition. Shot 41% from the floor, 32% from three, 79%. He's a pup, only 18 years old. Good shooting mechanics, didn't shoot well on pull-up smitties and at the rim, needs to get stronger, doesn't like contact, excellent handles and footwork, good passer, works the pick and roll well, but doesn't read the court at an advanced level, good motor and intensity on defense, both on and off the ball. He will have trouble holding his spot, needs to get into the weight room. I wanted him to go back. Rudy Gay's cousin, and I bring that up, like I said, with Reed Shepherd and Topic and others. I like when a kid's around somebody that's made it to the game, the show, and knows what it's going to take. So he did a lot of impressive things. I also had Lou Williams as a thing with him also as a comp. But 6'8" wingspan, great size. 6'4", 6'5". I think he'll grow more. So he had an impressive rookie season.
Yeah, he is a pup. So they're basically trading for potential. Trading for potential here. They must see something. When you make a trade like this, usually young guys like this that are traded on during the draft, it's because the team receiving him has seen something special in them. So keep an eye on this guy right here. 6'5", 6'8" wingspan, a decent wingspan. Still could be growing. I know my son grew tremendously from the age of 18, 19 to 23. He grew at least 1.5 inches himself. So this is a nice one. Nice one for the Wizards.
Well, with Sarr, they're going to have, their point guard of the future, and they're going to have their power forward of the future.
Yeah, that's nice. And once again, a good pick, an appropriate pick. We don't know the details of the trade yet. Let's see if anyone else has posted about that. No. But he is on his way to Washington. Now that's a bummer. My first bummer pick. My first bummer pick has just happened.
What?
Miami is going to select Jared McCain at number 15.
That's about right. I was thinking 16 with the. Yep, I knew he was going to go in that thing.
He's a guy that I know Miami wouldn't trade with us, but that's the kind of guy that I would have kind of reached up to grab. He is he's the only other guy in this draft who can compete with Reed Shepherd in terms of just pure shooting. He may end up becoming a better shooter than Reed Shepherd. That's a nice pickup at 15 right there. Nice pickup. What's your little read on Mr. Jared McCain?
I'll be there in a sec.
20 years old, 6'3" and a
Yep.
half.
Quick 3-level scorer with one of the best shooters in the draft, as you just said. NBA range from 3, shot 46% from the floor, 41 from 3, 89% from the foul line. Ability to get the hole and finish, but needs to work with on his handles. High IQ, makes the right reads. Coach's dream. Great kid. Very good rebounder for his size. Not much of a passer. He's a chucker. Shoot first, pass second mentality. See him as a microwave off the bench. Small size and length will impact him greatly on defense.
Okay, we're getting some mixed messages here. Shams is saying Miami is selecting Khalil Ware at number 15. So,
Wow.
And then Jake Fisher is saying Jared McCain at 15. Interesting. See? We got something here. Lex is coming in. Washington Wizards traded Denny Abdia to the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon, the 14th pick in the 2024 draft. A 2029 first-round pick and future second-round picks.
Well,
okay. Okay, cool. So the trade, the Bub Carrington trade is part of the Denny Abdia Malcolm Brogdon trade that was announced earlier this morning. Smart, but we need to get confirmation on this.
Well, I respect Miami's scouting, so if they feel comfortable with Khalil Ware, then I respect that.
Yeah, I definitely do. Miami last year when they got Jaime Jaquez, I was so pissed because Thibs would have loved Jaime Jaquez, and if he was on our team, he wouldn't have been there to undercut Julius. That's the other part there. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see here. So we got the moves. The moves are happening. Second trade today during the draft. Will the Knicks be the third? Let's see. We did think, like yesterday when Foxy and I were doing this draft preview show, we talked about the 16th and 17th picks. If Ryan Dunn was still alive around here, the 17th pick, the team that would probably be interested in doing a pick swap, maybe a 2-for-1, maybe just one of the picks from this draft and a future number 1 later on down the road, it would be the Lakers. Now the question is Ryan Dunn worth 2 picks to get up to 17? So it's getting close.
It is.
Because here we are. We're down here 24th. Wait, you can't see it here. 24th, 25th. So we're still a ways away. We're still about 10 picks away. But if it's true that Khalil Ware went to Miami Heat, that is one of the guys that, now ESPN is confirming that. ESPN has confirmed that. Here it is. Khalil Ware going to the Miami Heat. Now, we've seen it before when there's confusion. There's a trade that may have happened. So let's see if Miami is making a trade. But it doesn't seem like it right now because now the Sixers are on the clock.
Just getting back to before, we were talking about Ryan Dunn. He shot 20% from 3. Herb Jones shot 28% from 3 and 60% from the foul line in college. And it was the same on a 1.7. He took 1.7 shots, and Ryan took even less one. So they're in the same way. So if Herbert Jones can bring it up to the 40 or something like that, let's have hope that Ryan, if he turns out to become a New York Knick, that he can have that same trajectory.
Wow. If okay, so we need Ryan to drop another 8 slots. Now it wouldn't be dropping because he has been spec'd to go around this anywhere from
this point on.
From this point on, 17 to even 32. I've seen that. So at this point, it's just a matter of what
Hail
kind
Mary full of grace.
what kind of insider knowledge we have. And the Knicks have in the past shown that they can they can work those phones to get that inside intel. So let's see. I'm on pins and needles now. What's gonna happen? Oh my God.
Shout out to our guy Buzzer Beater who just joined the chat. How are you? Hope all
What's
is
up,
well.
brother? 55 wins, 55 plus. Yeah, I think. Well, now that we got OG for sure. 60.
When I want to know how many wins, I go to my friend George because there's nobody as accurate as him in predictions.
I'm 2 years in a row.
You're unbelievable. That's why I say I'm great in drafts, but other shit, I know where to go.
That was crazy, and it was tough with that in-season tournament to predict because there were three games that weren't scheduled. So you're like, okay, what's going to? We ended up playing one extra game against the Bucks and against the Celtics, which we lost both those games. But man, I did not anticipate that incredible January run. All right, so right now we're waiting to hear what's happening with the 16th pick. The Philadelphia 76ers are on the clock. I think they are going to take Dalton Connect. That is my prediction.
It's a lot of value. He has a lot of value at that pick to take him.
It's a great pick for them, I believe, because for one, they're built to win next year. They need guys who are ready. He's seasoned. He's in a senior. Fifth year. He's a dog. He has a dog mentality. Great size, 6'6", pretty decent mobility for his size. Can shoot the lights out. I think he would be a tremendous pickup for the Philadelphia 76ers, especially if they lose, a Kelly Oubre. He's not a Kelly Oubre type mold, but in terms of offense and being able to stretch the floor and play off of guys like Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, if they get him, he would be a nice pickup for them. So that's my prediction for the Sixers at number 16.
Yeah, I had Dan Marley as my, or Max Strus as Dalton Connect.
I love Marley. Was one of my favorite players.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I have an explosive fifth-year big. I'm old, so I didn't know anybody would know him.
Marley was one of the most athletic guys you would ever have seen play.
Yeah. Explosive fifth-year, big, strong combo shooting guard that has elite athleticism, will go hard to the hole with violent dunks, good motor, outstanding shooter with NBA three-point range and shot creation capabilities, but needs to improve his shot selection. Shot 46% from the floor, 40% from three, 77% from the foul line. Needs to expand his game. Has major issues on defense dealing with quick and athletic guards and wings, and watches the ball too much on defense, but some of that shit is correctable.
Yeah, it's correctable. That's the guy I have for them right now. Let's see what happens. Tristan Jacoby Walter.
I have as an athletic combo guard, good size and length that hasn't lived up to his expectations. Needs to work on his shot mechanics and his slow release. Shot 38% from the floor, which is terrible. 34% from the three and 79% from the foul line. Lacks touch and has issues with finishing due to his lack of physicality. Needs to get stronger. Must work on his handles. He's an okay defender due to his size and length. Average lateral quickness and lacked focus on defense and got torched by athletic wings. Terrible defensive rating, a chucker with terrible the turnover ratio. I see him as a role player rather than a starter.
I agree with everything you just said. I wasn't that impressed with him. I didn't do much scouting on him, but I wasn't that impressed with him.
I have Kevin Huerter as his comp.
That's a compliment. All right, we are in a holding pattern right now. We believe that Dalton Connect will go to the pick is in. Oh, wait, did I get anything here? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because McCain is still available. I forgot. Sixers are picking Jared McCain.
And we said that last night. We predicted that last night, that he was going to go to the 76ers.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So he's picked the. Okay, all right. So that means Dalton Connect is still available. Everything we just said about he being a good fit for the Sixers. Tremendous fit for the Lakers. Now,
I hope so.
Yeah. The question becomes, do the Lakers think he could slide down to 24 and maybe we move up and pick Ryan Dunn at 17? I think Dunn is a better fit for the Knicks and Thibodeau than Connect is. But I love Connect's offense. I mean, I think we'll definitely need some offense, especially in that second unit. And he's a seasoned college player. He could be interesting.
Yeah, I would if I'd play poker. I'd hold it. We could always call after somebody select and say, "Hey, I want that guy. Let's pick him." But if shooting's on our thing with bogey gone and stuff like that, I'd go Ryan Dunn at 24 and Baylor Shireman at 25. And then we have our shooter, just like Dalton Connect.
But here's the thing: Dalton Connect or Terrence Shannon Jr.
Terrence Shannon Jr. all day, because Tibbs will. We know Tibbs.
I think
he starts with great defense and then everything else.
Yeah, and I think he's got a higher defensive upside than Dalton.
Oh, not even close. I mean, two different galaxies. And also, we said athletically and stuff, getting to the hole. If that shot gets more consistent,
and that rim protection, he gives you rim protection at his size, which is very unusual at 6'7".
Yeah, so it's Kelly Oubre and also Miles Bridges. All I see it in that kid.
Buzzer Beater asks, can Dunn guard fives?
Depends on the five. OG
Bam.
Much better with a Bam, but hey, we saw OG's a lot stronger at this stage. He has a different body type, so he went against Embiid. But yeah, I could see him giving Bam issues.
Yeah. All right, guys. The Knicks are coming into play soon. Smash that like button for us. Hit that emoji symbol down in the chat there. Apparently, it
show
helps.
us some loves. Yeah.
Show us some thumb
TikTok
love.
has impacted YouTube, so those emojis smashing it means a lot besides just likes.
And share the video for us. That'd be wonderful. Sixers, they're going to pick Jared McCain is what we are hearing. Right? Because we thought he was being taken by Miami, but he wasn't. So now it looks like it's going to be Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey in the same backcourt. Look at that range this guy has. And he very quiet motion when he shoots it. Look at that. Hardly anything. Which is great. You want that.
Yeah, fluid.
Look at that. I mean, of course we're seeing his highlights, but everything is net. Everything's net or slightly back rim. Boom, right there. Just outstanding shooter.
Yeah.
Little turnaround.
Nice. I always use this trick that I learned from Wally Serbiak, that, studying great shooters, that in college and stuff like that, great shooters, when they miss, they're either short or long, but they're perfectly lined up. When I see guys missing left or right, I know they're not going to be a great shooter.
Yep. So it is confirmed the Sixers select Jared McCain out of Duke with the 16th pick. And he will most likely eventually become Tyrese Maxey's backcourt mate for the Sixers. Sixers just got a little bit better, I will say. I got to give him a shout out. That's a great value pick for number 16 for that.
It is, because Maxey, we saw how explosive he is. He'll break down and all of a sudden kick it out to this guy for an open three. That's scary.
Yeah. This is similar, comparable to the Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel Quickley draft, where they went Maxey, what was he? Maxey went 20th or something, and IQ went 25th. So you just shift that up here, 16th. This guy probably could have gone earlier, maybe even 12th or something. He's that great of a shooter.
If he was a touch longer, he definitely would have gone.
Yeah, if it was like another 1 inch, 1 inch longer, yeah.
And
sure.
especially that wingspan or short wingspan he has.
Yeah, he has a short wingspan. So interesting. Now it's getting even more interesting here because now this is the pick. Here's the pick that we have been talking about. The Lakers are on the clock. They have the 17th pick. Foxy and I thought that when we were looking at the draft itself, what teams will be looking for certain players, and this is pre-Mikal Bridges, and the Knicks would desperately needed someone like a Ryan Dunn size. We picked the Lakers as a possible trading partner for the Knicks, the 24th and 25th pick, or it's like the 24th and the 38th pick to get up to 17. Let's see what happens here. The pick is in, according to ESPN, and the Lakers have selected Dalton Connect with the 17th pick.
Great value pick.
Yeah. So far, I would only say the Houston Rockets are the only ones who have kind of like blundered it. The only guy. It's the only one I would say that about. This is a nice pick for the Lakers. I hate to say it, though.
And a great pick for us.
Yeah. Yes, it is good for us.
Because our guys are still on the board. We just got to say a few more Hail Marys.
Yeah, 2 of our guys are still on the board. I mean, at this point, Foxy, let's say it all plays out exactly the way we'd hope. Ryan's there at 24, and we pick up Terrence Shannon Jr. at 25. And then at 38, we hold on to 38.
Adam Bona.
Exactly. Adem Bona.
And then we walk away like, oh my God, we just transformed this team.
We just added insane athleticism. If that happens, we would have added incredible athleticism. And I mean, Bona has got like freakish physicality potential. Of course, that's why, but he's going to be a project no matter what. Terrence Shannon is, the guy could just fill up the bucket. He's like a Cam Thomas kind of guy. And Ryan Dunn, who you have said is a generational defender, could be the best defensive prospect at that size that you have seen in a while.
Yeah. Like I said, oh shit. When I have a oh shit grade on somebody and when watching him on defense saying, oh my God, look at the recovery. And like I said, fluid hips. I watch hips and, whether they're high hips, tight hips, some of the guys that I watch, but you watch Ryan Dunn, you're like, wow, man, this is prototype.
Oh man. All right. Well, at least ESPN still has it as the pick is in. They haven't updated theirs yet. Let's get back over to here. And same with the NBA. Oh, there we go. Finally. Selection made. Lakers. Nice. Positional rank is listed at the 4th best. Overall rank 7th best. And he fell all the way to 17. So right here, Lakers got tremendous value with the 17th pick.
I don't know if LeBron's going back there, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. On the clock, the Orlando Magic with the 18th pick. Six more picks until the Knicks select at number 24.
I think Walter is the pick here.
You think Jacoby Walter?
Well, with Orlando's, from Orlando, they also have Jet Howard that they really didn't use that they picked last year. But I think Walker, from a shooting perspective, that it's somebody that I wouldn't be surprised that they select him.
Oh, man.
Mid 651, the Knicks starters are going to be Jalen Brunson at the point guard, Mikal Bridges at the shooting guard, OG Anunoby at the 3, Julius Randle at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
That is my feeling as well. That's going to be the starting five. The question becomes, what is going to happen with Mr. Isaiah Hartenstein? Will he make a similar type of decision like OG Anunoby did? OG did get pretty much the bag, but not the max. He turned down max offers. It has been reported by Ian Begley and SNY sources that he was going to get max offers from other teams, but he believed in the vision that the Knicks were building here, and he wanted to stay. Now, it's not like he sacrificed, he didn't make too big a sacrifice. He's still going to get $212.5 million over a 5-year period.
42.5 mil.
42.5 mil, the average value of yearly value. The other aspect is he has a trade kicker, and I believe the 5th year is a player option. So there's flexibility there. The question is, would Hartenstein take a 2+1 or just a straight out another 2-year deal from the Knicks?
Well, one of the things that it's going to impact it is from Woj. Nick Claxton intends to sign a 4-year, $100 million contract. So that, those type of contracts with a Nick Claxton it's setting the bar for what iHeart would get. So that's, a $25 million a year contract, 4-year, $100 million for Nick Claxton to stay with the Nets.
Yeah. I mean, they're very different players, though.
Oh, I was just talking about the contract, not the players.
Yeah. We'll see. Honestly, I mean, it would be quite the bummer, Isaiah, if you leave for the bag somewhere else and that team putters out in the first round.
Did.
And then you
Hopefully
watch
he sees the vision.
Yeah, exactly. And then you watch us celebrating next June. You'll miss the parade down Broadway. I mean, and then plus, your woman loves New York. You love New York. I don't know. I think Leon, I hope he's making it happen. But so far, there is no indication yet of anything. If I had seen the Knicks trade up to grab a Khalil Ware or even a Zach Edey, then I would have thought for sure they don't feel confident that they're going to be able to bring back an Isaiah Hartenstein. I was just looking for indicators like that. Haven't seen it yet. So we'll see what they do with their first pick. When they get to 24, do they pick a backup center at 24? If they do, I know we love Ryan Dunn, Foxy, but what
we got 24-25, so
yeah, we have 24-25. So what backup center would you look at with the 24th or 25th pick?
Yes, it's going to be Deron Holmes.
Missy is still there.
He's so raw. I can't, meaning it's Jericho Sims, the sequel. He's just so raw. I can't see him. Just real quick, my stuff on, I'll tell you what I have, my scouting for Messi.
What about Filipowski?
Like I said, I look at him as a 4. Hey, he has skills. He has offensive skills, but he does not like physicality. So
he could shoot 3, though.
I thought that was overrated. He can, but so just on Eve Missy, very raw. He's athletic, mobile, with an NBA body, with good size and length. Finishes strong at the rim. Good hands, strong rebounder. Uses his bounce to have a 2.4 blocks per game. Strong rim protector. No offensive game at all. Terrible free throw shooter at 61%. I guess compared to Mitch, that's excellent foul shooter, but has issues on switches and understanding defensive assignments, such as navigating screens, positioning, and drop coverage. He's very foul prone. Several year project. He would drive Tibbs crazy. Eve Messi.
So these are the centers from the big board on Tankathon. The top two have been selected, and so is Zach Edey. Everyone else is available. Quinton Post is up here. who's someone who
We talked
like.
about it last night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about him. Now, I think at a 25, he'd be a reach, but maybe we trade down.
Well, 38 more would
38.
be, yeah. Or I'd see him as an undrafted guy personally. But with Kyle Filipowski, I have good size, better playing the four, had issues in the tournament, against the big fives. Decent playmaker, especially finding cutters, good handles for his size, averaging 3 assists per game, versatile offensive game, finishes with either hand, not a bad midi, and pick and pop potential. Shot 51% from the floor, 35 from three, 67% from the line. Due to his lack of athleticism, he has issues finishing at the rim and not a good offensive rebounder at all. His poor lateral quickness will be a problem on the perimeter and on switches. He does put in the effort on defense. He still had 1.45 blocks per game and over 1 steal per game. I have Kelly Olynyk as my comp for him.
For Filipowski?
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. He's only 20. He's a sophomore. He's only about 5 months older than Missy, and Missy's a super project. Bona.
He's a negative wingspan. He's 7 foot with a 6'10.5" wingspan. Filipowski.
Oh, another one of those. Those are so weird.
Well, you don't mind it from a guy shooting the guard, but you do mind it a guy at the 5 or the 4. You want that length. Yeah, exactly. Dinosaur arms.
This is the guy I love. I love this guy. They have him at 6'9.5", but look, he has almost a 7'4" wingspan.
Oh yeah.
He's from Nigeria originally, through Turkey. Played for UCLA. Was part of that Jaime Jaquez's last year in college when I think they made it to the Elite Eight in the NCAA March Madness. He's a tremendous defensive player, even though here they have him all these metrics, have him low. But
yeah, don't go.
What I know about him is he suffered a lot of weird little injuries. So he'd miss a game here and there. He couldn't get a string, a bunch of games together until a certain port in the season. And then once he started taking off, he has a tremendous athleticism. Steals, yes, that's one thing. He's constantly getting steals. Look at this. He's a 40-inch max vertical from the NBA Combine. Lane agility, 11.01. That's very good. His shuttle step at 3.0. I mean, he's got great speed. His three-quarter sprint, he ran a 3.15. Excellent. So he's a guy.
He shot 70% from the foul line,
and he can shoot from the foul line. Yeah, 70% right there. Exactly. That's and that was last season. Season before, we don't have those stats here. Doesn't shoot the three though. That's the one thing. But that's something we have lived without, and we probably will continue to live without unless something happens here. Something's gotta happen.
2 offensive rebounds a game.
So we know that Orlando Magic have selected Tristan da Silva, forward from Germany, forward from Colorado via Germany.
Nice pickup for them.
Yeah, nice pickup for them. Toronto Raptors now on the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks until the Knicks select. Oh my God!
This may be an FU pick, and they may take Dunn.
Oh, the Raptors? Yeah,
I
can see that.
Because they love their wings.
They do love their wings.
Tristan da Silva, folks, like George just said, kid from Germany, senior, had a great tournament, average athlete, which hinders him getting to the basket and in pick and roll, good shooting mechanics, potential floor spacer, who's shot 40% from 3. And again, remember, he played with Cody Williams and KJ Simpson. So has nice post-up game and can finish with either hand. Good feel for the game, reads and reacts very well, needs the rebound better. Good motor who competes on the defensive end, but will have issues guarding athletic NBA wings. See him as a role player who specializes in corner threes. Due to his age, he may be at his ceiling. And I actually had Denny Avila as his comp.
Nice one.
Come on, Toronto, don't do this to us. Toronto and Pelicans, who love wings, they both scare the shit out of me. Because I think Tyler Kolek may go to the Suns at 22. And then I don't see the Bucks taking Ryan Dunn. So I
No.
think no. Just with I don't see it for their roster. You know, they lost Beasley. You know, a few other things. So we'll see. But the next two, if we get past the next two picks, I think we're going to get Ryan Dunn without giving up any assets. But you know what? I can't tell that with the Knicks. A couple of years ago, I had the same mentality, and I was like, "Oh my God, we got him! We got him! Who do you got? We got this guy Tyrese Halliburton. We'll pick him. We'll pick him, and the pick is in Obi Toppin. What? What the fuck did you just do?"
I was shocked too. I was shocked too.
Well, like I said, if you didn't say Tyrese Halliburton, at least say Devin Vassell. You know, we had Julius there, so what the hell are you picking a power forward for?
According to Evans Sittery, as the first round moves into the final third, the Nets are still active trying to obtain a pick. The Cavaliers are one known team who has expressed interest in both Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Keep an eye on Brooklyn over the next hour. Okay. All right. Toronto has selected, and they selected Jacoby Walker.
Thank God. Whoa. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
That is a great mistake for us. I mean, in favor.
A great mistake for us.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy, he's a bust, in my opinion.
Yeah, he didn't. You know, when you shoot in the 30s, you know, from the floor, he should have went back to college, man. Seriously, you know, some of the guys that went back to college this year, I have great respect for that. You know, hey, Ben Mathurin did that.
Yep. Joseph A. Wrote in the chat, even if the Knicks select a future Michael Jordan, Thibs will bury him in the G League.
Who said that? Oh, Joseph A. Come on.
Oh my God, here we are. We are in view. Finally, just made the window here. Jacoby Walter went at 19 to the Toronto Raptors. 6'4" guard from Baylor. I don't have much hope that he's going to be much of a pro. Now at the 20th pick is Cleveland. Cleveland, I could see them taking Ryan Dunn. Cleveland is another team. We've forgotten. I haven't talked at all about Cleveland as being another one of those teams. Another one of the reasons why the Knicks had to get better, because they're a team who is. I think they're going to be a better team next season, and at this point, they're looking at us as one of their major obstacles in the way to getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. We ousted them 2 years ago. They lost to the Celtics this year. Did they win one game? I think just one game, right?
Who?
The Cavs against the Celtics.
One game.
Yeah. So we'll see. We shall see. We got Jay in the chat.
I can't see. Is that my girl Janine? I can't see the icon
here,
because my eyes are going. Yeah. So
I just made it bigger for you here on the screen.
Yep, that's my girl. Hey, I hope all is well with you and your family.
Good people. Okay. So we now have more information. New Orleans. Oh, what happened to Cleveland's pick? New Orleans is selecting Yves Missy at 21 in the NBA draft. Sources say.
Yeah, they needed a center.
So who did the Cavaliers pick? Who did the Cavaliers pick? I don't see. Let's see. Jumping around to get info. Oh, okay. They picked Jalen Tyson
out of California.
Yeah,
I look at him as I do. He just looks like to me, he's like a big Okoro who they already have. He's probably Isaac Okoro.
Yeah. Who I love Isaac Okoro. It took him a while, but he finally started. He had shot 40% for the 3-point line. Finally,
I knew he was going to be a great defensive player right off
great defensive player. Yeah,
yeah. So, so he's that type of player.
Okay, so we got on the clock the Cavs, but we already know that they picked Yves Missy.
So on Tyson,
no. They picked Jalen Tyson. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I have on Tyson, solid athlete with good size at 6'7", uses his strength to finish through contact, good mechanics, and quick release. Shot 47% from the floor, 36% from three, 80% from the line. Sees the court well as a secondary playmaker. Loves making showtime passes. Also very good at moving without the ball and finding seams and cutting to the hull. Versatile wing who can play and defend multiple positions, 1 through 4. Has quick feet and athleticism. Coaches will love his motor. And his IQ sometimes. Sometimes he's so fancy with his passes, it just leads to inexcusable turnovers. But I have Desmond Bain as my comp for him.
Really?
Yeah. Well, here he's
not the shooter that Bain was in college, right?
No, 36% from 3.
Joseph A is asking us. Do you guys disagree with those of us that think Knicks gave up too many picks for Bridges? I think we gave up what we had to give up. We gave up 5 picks, 4 of our own, and the Milwaukee pick. We still have several first round picks available, and we only gave up Bojan, who was not going to be on this team. He was a rental from last season, which was Evan Fournier basically was flipped for him. If we were to give up, let's say, you guys are probably thinking 3 picks would have been enough, but then we would have had to have given up another really good player from our roster. And the way that the new CBA is structured, how are we going to find a player comparable to whatever player we're going to give up? Because all of our players on our current roster right now are excellent players. They're high level, star level role players, like in that realm. Who are you going to play? Who are you going to trade? Josh Hart? No, of course not. Who are we going to trade? Deuce? You want to include Deuce in there? Deuce is trending to be one of the top defensive guards off the bench right now. And his 3-point shooting.
Who can shoot 40% from 3.
Yes. And he delivered in crunch time. He hit huge buckets in the fourth quarter. So when you look at it as basically we gave up picks and just added him to our current roster, I like it, because picks, and also remember, these picks are all going to be at best, what the picks are this year, 24th, 25th. Maybe there might even be some seasons there next year. We might end up with like the 3rd best record in the NBA next season if things all break the right way. So that's the 27th pick. Yeah. These aren't picks that you're gonna like cry over, lose sleep over. So I don't think we gave up too many picks.
There's a couple of things, for Rudy Gobert. Jazz, Timberwolves gave up Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Lando Bolmero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones plus a pick swap. And also,
but his contract was insane. Like Mikal Bridges has got a great contract for what
fantastic. Exactly. And George and I also earlier, we went into the lab today, folks, and we looked at statistically, and from and you have to take this, we went over the numbers that the data shows that 90% and higher of picks from 15 onward, you have a 90% chance of failure. They'll never make an all-star team from picks 15 onward. So like George said, we're going to be a very good team for the next 5 years. So those picks are going to be, 20s, high teens if we have an off year and stuff like that. So statistically, they're 90% chance of that'll never happen, that we're going to lose a good player. So why not go 100% with a player like Bridges, who's going to be even better? Last year with Brooklyn, he's not a number 1, and they put him as a number 1. now he's going to be back to his natural position, playing as a number 3 option behind Julius and Brunson, which is more, and with OG. So I definitely think we're going to see the best of Mikal Bridges, and also
Yeah.
he's motivated, he's happy. You know, the last couple of years in Phoenix were draining that guy, and then he goes to Brooklyn. You could just see he was unhappy.
Yeah.
Now he is. Thank you, Lord. I've been, I've been freed from prison.
And he needs a good point guard to feed off of. And when he first came to Brooklyn last year, Dinwiddie was playing some decent point for the Nets, and he averaged 24 points a game for the Nets. So he really was a number 1 dog then. This year, Dinwiddie took a step down. I can't even remember if he missed games or whatever, but he wasn't consistent. Then he got traded to the Lakers, and then who'd they get? They got Schroeder. Schroeder, who wasn't quite the point guard that Dinwiddie is. Mikal's not a guy who just takes the ball and just going to, be a number 1 on his own. So I think he's going to thrive tremendously playing with Brunson. And we got Deuce there. I think it's gonna, and then he's got his Villanova guys. I think it's a great pickup for the Knicks. I think right now, in my opinion, the New York Knicks, only because Boston is the reigning champ, that the Knicks are the number 2 favorite, in my opinion, to win the NBA championship next season. And that's and now that we know, and I was feeling that anyway before I was hoping we bring OG back. So now it's confirmed we're bringing OG back. So you're saying, hey, we traded 5 picks, and even the Milwaukee pick, that's never going to be lower than 20th. So
exactly.
We picked 5 picks that are going to be between 20 and 30th range for a guy who is an elite defender. He was the runner-up defensive player of the year 2 seasons ago, and he is perfect. He's a perfect type of wing to pair with OG to neutralize Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and no one else can say that in the NBA. We're the only team that has that in the NBA right now.
And God willing, I'm all about statistics. We're due to have a healthy season next year after what the hell happened this past season. If we stay healthy with this roster, I definitely see us vying for the championship, folks. And I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah. And I do believe that Thibs is going to be a little bit more prudent with his minutes, because he's going to have a really deep roster that he's not going to want them to kind of wilt. He doesn't want ferns to grow around some of those guys. He's going to want them out there getting minutes. He's going to spread the minutes around more. We've seen that he's gone even as deep as 10 in the past, trying to figure things out. So we know he can handle a 9-man rotation. And I just think we're not going to see Josh Hart playing 42 minutes.
And we don't want it to. He's a glue guy.
Exactly.
You don't want to put a glue guy in a skill guy position.
Yeah. So something's happening right now. Something's like delayed in our announcements here. Selection was made. The New Orleans picked Yves Missy. Now the Phoenix Suns are on the clock.
I think Tyler Kolek is going to go here unless Phoenix pulls a thing and wants to hold Ryan Dunn ransom so they can pick up some picks that they need badly. And the Knicks trade down with
this could be a trade
Phoenix.
down. This could be the Knicks. We could trade up for them here.
Exactly.
Because
hopefully we won't have to. But
one team that could pick. I know you said you didn't think Ryan Dunn. The Bucks would pick Ryan Dunn. You never know. They that's one thing. Their defense sucked when they got rid of Drew, and Dame doesn't give you much. I could see them looking at guys who are going to give them some great defense, and he is the best defender in the draft, and he's still out there. So there's a possibility that the Bucks fuck us over and pick Ryan Dunn at the number 23. So this is the time to make a little trade with the Suns.
And like you said, God forbid that happens, and it'll break my heart. But then Terrence Shannon, next man up.
Okay, we got some information. Uh, Phoenix is trading number 22 to Denver, which takes Deron Holmes.
They gave him a promise.
Phoenix did? Or Denver
No,
did?
Denver did that if he but they basically said, we love this kid. We think he'll be great next to Joker. But they finally said, you know what? We don't think he's going to go to 29. We better jump up and take him.
Deron Holmes, 6'10", from Dayton, power forward, 7'1" wingspan, 236 pounds. almost 22 years old. I mean, he's got some nice offensive efficiency stats. Shot 38.6% from behind the arc. Pretty decent, and 71% free throw shooter. That's a nice pickup. Nice pickup for Denver.
It is.
You have anything to add about him from your reports?
Yeah, let me just scroll over. You covered a lot of it in the terms of like I said, he is exactly what I said. He was Precious Achua with a jump shot. So he basically has the same exact stats measurements as Precious. I respect him. He went back to school. He got better every year, and I like when I see that. I wish I'm not Dayton. He wasn't going against really, really good competition.
No.
So and there was some elements that I think against NBA players that he will have some issues, but he has a great motor. And obviously Denver has a great eye. They've picked a lot of good players over the years with their excellent scouting. So, if he's going there,
check it out. The Nuggets send number 28, number 56, and 2 future second-round picks to the Suns. Sources said Phoenix moves back several slots and picks up assets.
Yeah, so with Deron Holmes, I had junior, very good athlete with good size, length, and great motor, great combined stats, and lane agility, shuttle, and three-quarter sprint. Can score in the post, lobs, and from middies and beyond the arc. Average over 20 points a game. Shot, like you said, 39% from the three, 54% from the field. Nice touch. Versatile defender with a mobility. Blocked over 2 shots a game with almost 9 rebounds a game. Good passer and roller on pick and roll and pick and pop. Needs to work on his handles. More of a 4, but he can play 5 in the right matchups. He had basically the same stats in college as Naz Reid did.
He's a young junior as well. He's still 21. He was a junior.
Mm-hmm.
So that's along the lines of a contending team trying to add quality players who are ready to play through the draft. They're not going to be superstars. They're not going to compete for second, team All NBA or anything like that. But they're going to be great. They're going to be solid role players and potentially turn into a great role player. So a nice pickup for the Denver Nuggets. Oh, here we are. We're on the clock. This is old because we know that Phoenix picked Deron Holmes and traded him to Denver here. So next is Milwaukee is on the clock.
This is it, folks. This is it.
With the 23rd pick. There we go. We know Deron Holmes went to Phoenix here. So right now it's the Bucks on the clock. The Bucks needs.
So now with Deron Holmes, folks, gone, comes down to what George and I were saying, that Adam Bona now is our number one in the slot of if we're taking a big, Adam Bona is the guy.
Yeah.
Messi's gone, Klingon's gone, Edie's gone, obviously Killel Ware's gone, now Deron Holmes. So next man up is Adam Bona.
Ooh, pins and needles. It's exciting. We haven't had this throw in 3 years.
Tell me about it, especially the last 24. So we're like saying we're stacked, man. Now we're just like putting the seasoning to make this a championship run. So, So Milwaukee, take anybody but the guys we want, please. We don't ask much, please. But
Milwaukee,
folks,
I could see them screwing us here. This could be. We'll
but
see.
also we know the Knicks from history, so let's just be prepared. Like, we're all excited, and with the 24 pick, the New York Knicks trade with OKC for 2 first round picks in next year.
You had me going. I thought you were actually announcing something. You sold it so well. Johnny Furphy is also on the board, still available.
Yep.
So maybe he goes to the Bucks.
I hope so, because like we said, I wasn't happy with his testing at the combine, his athletic testing.
Okay, here we go, people.
God, please. God, please.
This is old right here. I don't know. It's not refreshing. I'm sure if you guys are watching it on TV, I don't have the TV feed right now. But actually, I can pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, come on, Steve Larson. Be our eyes and ears. Right. Hey, Andrew College, how are you, my friend, old time buddy?
Let's put some night driving music on here. No, that's not good.
I put some Tool on.
Here it is. This is anticipating the Knicks pick here, or actually, we're anticipating the Bucks pick, is what it is. Bum, 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 bum.
Do you have a favorite music band?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I have a very eclectic taste. Love all.
Who are your top 3 bands?
Well, I mean, I love the Beatles and Stones and stuff like that. But I love like Sublime. Love Sublime. I love the Specials. The Kinks, I think, are one of the 5 most incredible bands ever. Incredibly underrated.
Great writers.
Yeah,
brothers hated each other.
Yeah, but like in that brothers way, like.
Yeah, I'll hit you in the head with his guitar. Ray, leave me alone.
Okay, nothing yet with the Bucks. Okay.
I got my stomach is in a knot right now.
Jake Fisher tweeted out, this is about the Phoenix Denver deal. This is the kind of this deal is kind of the fusion of 2 of the loudest pre-draft rumors that Denver coveted Holmes and Phoenix was looking to move back in the first, where the Suns could collect some additional second-round capital. Okay.
So I think they were also worried that the Knicks were going to take him now because of, like I said earlier in the broadcast, that Ryan Dunn at 24 and Deron Holmes at 25 now with us potentially losing. So I think Denver said, you know what, there's a chance the Knicks could take him. We better move up.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Come on.
Here we go.
Please, come on. We're due
2
for
minutes
some
left.
Also, Milwaukee could have, with Brooke Lopez age, they could have gone on, and also Bobby Portis and a few others, they could have gone Deron Holmes also.
Get this shit.
Yo!
Twitter's crazy, man.
I wish I was Reed Shepherd.
Okay. Nothing yet. What are the Bucks gonna do? Are you guys hyped? What do we think, guys?
Anything but who we want. Please, come on, let us.
This happens to us all the time. Like with Steph Curry.
I know.
I mean, you guys don't remember, but way back when, there was a guy, the Pacers did it to us, like Chuck Person.
Yep.
Chuck Person was great. He was going to be a Knick. Then the Pacers took him right before us. I don't know if it was like right before us, but like maybe 2 picks before us. But
what was he? The Rifleman? What was his nickname?
Yeah, he was the Rifleman. Chuck Person.
Was he Auburn?
He was. I think so. Yes, because I think he was. He came before Barkley, I believe, right? He was Barkley predecessor. That's exactly what we want, Wiz. This is it. This is what we want.
Yeah, Wiz, God bless you, man. That's what we want.
I want 2 stabs at getting a wing like that.
Well, Wiz is short for wizard, so he's using his magical powers for us because he's a very powerful person. So Wiz put us in that position for us to get who we want.
Yeah, hit that like button. We're just 5 likes away from 100 likes. This has been the longest stream I have done, I believe, in a very long time. It's been great. Thank you, Foxy, for joining us here. We are now 2 hours and 48 minutes in, and the New York Knicks are waiting to hear the pick is in from the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's see.
Please.
Nothing has been announced. Nothing has been tweeted. Milwaukee is selecting AJ Johnson from Australia's NBL via Fresno.
Thank you, God.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you. That is a bizarre pick.
That is a bizarre pick, people.
Hey, I like the kid. He's just so freaking raw. He can't shoot at this point, at least.
Here he is. So we are now ready.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it, everybody. Get ready. Oh, but the Knicks have done this to us before. They have totally pulled the rug out from under us before.
Yeah. AJ Johnson, I had raw combo guard with good size and length, excellent athlete with super smooth and elite burst, very good handles, is lightning in transition, can go both left and right at top speed, can't shoot. You know, he shot 35% from the field, 27% from 3, 53% from the foul line.
What are they seeing him?
Like I just said, they he's
probably just going to stash him.
Exactly. He's 19 years old. You know, he has 6'5" with his blink under 6'9" wingspan. But I had Nick Young as my comp for him.
The Knicks are on the clock.
Come on, Wiz, do your magic, Wiz.
Jared McCain is off the board. The top left guy still on the board is Terrence Shannon Jr. We got Ryan Dunn and Adem Bona. But Bona's not going to go in the first round, I don't think.
Maybe he may go in that first round.
He may go 30th. Like I see him going around there. I could.
Yeah.
But we're here. This is it. We've been waiting for this. And I know you didn't rate Furphy as high, but he is an interesting prospect. But we're not going to be taking prospects for
Tibbs.
For Tibbs. No. That would be ridiculous if we did that. Oh, man. I'm excited.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So this is the big board. Oh, the Knicks are trading the 24th to the Wizards.
Told you.
Of course.
Hey, that's
of course.
We'll find out what the protections are, but they're going to be a shitty team for a couple of years. Let's see what the picks are. But What did I say a couple of minutes ago? This is the MO for the Knicks. So I think they may be protecting Ryan Dunn. They'll get some draft. They may get a guarantee they won't pick a Ryan Dunn. And we'll get some draft assets that we just lost for the Mikal Bridges trade. And then hopefully pick our guy, Ryan Dunn, at 25.
Well, Washington, they had the 26th pick? Oh. Okay. So the Washington has the 26th pick. It's possible because we have the 25th pick that we're moving down to 26.
25, 26.
Yeah, 25, 26.
And gain a draft asset for doing that.
Get a commitment from the Wizards that they don't take Dunn.
Or whoever it is. We don't
know. We don't know that the Knicks love Dunn. We know that they brought him in.
Worked him out, yeah.
Worked him out. and they know that we know that he is a perfect defensive player for this team for Thibodeau, who can contribute next year. So let's see. This could be another one of these shrewd draft day moves. We just slide down, and still the same guys are still available for us. Maybe the Wizards take Terrence Shannon here. People are sleeping on him. The reason he slid down is because he had some legal issues that he was found innocent of.
That, and he's a fifth-year senior. You worry about that he's at his ceiling, and he hasn't been able to get that shot corrected in 5 college seasons.
But he shot the lights out last year.
Well, if you consider below NBA average from 3, lights out, meaning he was only a couple points on, what did he shoot, 36?
Yeah, 36, but in transition, he was just unbelievable.
Monster.
Yeah.
Monster.
Let's see. Where is he? Actually, they have him listed as...
We talked about Koulibaly yesterday. So they have their guy there. So they have Koulibaly, they have Alex Sarr. What do they have? Is it Topic?
Terrence Shannon is listed as a shooting guard, but at 6'7", that's a pretty tremendous size. He averaged 24.4 points per game.
Yeah, but
only Zach Edey and Dalton Connect averaged more points per game last season in college, who are in this draft. And then there's Murphy.
Some of the games you watch, it's
Kolek, Tyler Kolek.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Washington. Who did Washington pick with the other pick? So they got Sarr.
They got Sarr. And they got Bub Carrington.
All right, so
Carrington is very Carrington and kind of similar to Shannon a little bit, but I mean, he's a guard, just more raw.
Terrence
the Knicks are on the clock. The
light
Knicks are
years
not
ahead, more athletic.
The Knicks are not taking this pick. We traded this pick. We don't know what the details are of the trade as of yet. We're hanging on pins and needles to find out.
Come on, man!
What kind of
don't tease us. I'm too old. I know. I'm too old.
What kind of wizardry that Brock Aller and Leon have put together? What are you doing, bro?
I'm stunned. Milwaukee took AG Johnson. I'm still stunned from that pick.
Me too. We got to 100 likes. Thank you guys, everybody, so much. Thanks for joining us here this time. This has been a great stream. I've been enjoying this. I'd just be sitting here by myself, tweeting Foxy and JD and talking to my son.
And don't forget Keith.
And Keith.
Love you, Keith.
Instead, get to share it with you guys. Yeah, Keith. Shout out to Keith. Hope you're
I love that
well, man.
Yeah,
great guy.
Wonderful.
Knicks are on the clock, but they will be selecting this pick for the Wizards. On draft day, you can't trade the pick. You have to make the pick selection, then trade them. If I remember correctly.
And so this way the kid could put on 2 hats.
Source confirms Knicks got number 26 and 50 something. Hold on, we got something from Ian Begley. Here, source confirms Knicks got number 26 and number 51 from Washington and trade for number 24. The Athletic first on it.
51.
51.
Jalen Bridges. I love that kid. I'm telling you,
Jalen Bridges?
From Baylor. 6'8", 41%
Another
from
Baylor
3,
kid.
50% catch and shoot. I want the Knicks to get him. I think he's really absolutely one of the steals of the draft.
I think they're going to pick Bronny James.
Oh, God.
With that pick.
You know, I had a heart attack a number of years ago, folks, so I have an issue that, he had cardiac arrest last year, and which to me means it's a congenital heart defect. So with his father being that rich and everything, son, fulfill another dream. Don't abuse your body. When you're a professional athlete, you're brutalizing your body. If you had a hard episode, why are you throwing the dice? I know there's dreams, but there's no need to do something that could kill you.
Interesting. Jeremy Cohen tweeted out trading down 2 spots saves the Knicks $200,000. Every dollar counts. And then Fred Katz quote tweeted a great point from Jeremy. If the Knicks are in fact capped at the first apron, which no one knows for sure. This is the crazy thing about this, the new CBA. They will have very little wiggle room below it after Anunoby's 5-year, $212 million deal. An extra $200K is actually a real difference. Okay. Let's go.
Dollar.
All right, we're going back to the Knicks-Verse theme song here. Let's go.
I love that bass. Boom, boom, boom.
So the New York Knicks have traded this 24th pick for the 26th.
Feels like 3 hours already. Come on, there's the longest 5 minutes.
So we are at, yes. Okay, here we go. Of course, the Knicks would do this to us right now. Jalen Bridges. We have time to talk about him a little bit.
Beautiful.
We can talk about him.
I love this kid's stroke. So Jalen Bridges, 5th-year senior, excellent athlete with size, length, and motor that it's a coach's dream. Does all the things to win. High IQ. Love this kid's shot and his shooting mechanics. Perfect hand placement, knees bent, quick release.
I got to interrupt Foxy.
Yep. No, this is more important.
Woj tweeted out the Knicks are in talks on moving number 26, sources tell ESPN. They're selecting at 25 now.
That's their MO.
Yeah. So it could be done. I mean, Ryan Dunn.
We'll find out. So just to finish up on Jalen Bridges' perfect hand placement, knees bent, quick release, low load up allows him to get his shot off in a blink. Shot 50% on unguarded catch and shoot threes, 41% overall, 82% from the foul line. Good cutter, can finish through contact with a strong body. Very good on defense with fluid hips, lateral quickness that allows him to guard multiple positions. Excellent help defender. I think Keyshawn George Washington
is the 24th pick that's being traded to Washington.
Cool, good.
Out of Miami.
Yep. Good spot up shooter.
Good. Yeah, good shooter. Nothing exciting.
By the way,
I'm not excited about him, but he's a good spot up shooter.
By the way, Jalen Bridges, you know who my comp was? Mikal Bridges.
Nice. All right, so the Knicks are on the clock at number 25, but Woj tweeted out that they are in works to trade this pick. They have the 26th pick from the Wizards in the trade for the 24th pick. The Knicks are planning to pick at number 25. So this is going to be the Knicks' first round and maybe only first round pick of the 2024 NBA draft. They're on the clock. There's 2 minutes left. It could be one and done, as Lex the Destroyer says. Let's see. I'm pins and needles. Pins and needles.
I think the pick after that we'll draft. So we'll pick 25, and if we do pick trade 26, I wouldn't be surprised. It is for somebody that likes Filipowski.
For a Filipowski person?
Yep.
Yeah. A team
that likes him.
Filipowski, I mean, you know, the Kelly Olynyk's of the world, they have there's a place for them in the NBA.
For sure.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Honestly,
like said, if you got a good 5 next to him,
I'm telling you guys
some of
right
his
now,
problems.
If we pick Kyle Filipowski, we know Isaiah Hartenstein is gone. So this is the big determinant right here. If we pick Kyle Filipowski, Isaiah Hartenstein is no more coming back to the Knicks.
I'd be shocked if they picked him, though, because defensively he's not a Tibbs player, Filipowski.
I'm with you. But, you know,
Adam Bone
Okay,
is
one
a
thing
tips
though,
winner.
he did average 3.3 assists.
Oh yeah,
last
for
season,
sure.
which was the best of any center in the NCAA in college basketball. So that's kind of like an Isaiah type role. I don't think he has the athleticism that Isaiah has.
Nope.
And he's not quite the shot blocker. No, he's not a
Nope.
big shot blocker, but he averaged 1.3 steals a game, which is really good for a guy his size. Let's see, 12 seconds left on the clock. I haven't gotten any alerts yet. Nobody knows shit. Oh man!
Just don't say somebody like Justin Edwards to me, because
this is why it's better to watch this thing, because right now on NBA TV coverage, Dennis Scott is unaware of the trade, and he said the Knicks are loading up on wings with Keyshawn George. So this is why this is the place to be.
That's inexcusable.
What the? Oh man, New York is selecting. Oh wow, did that get pulled back? Oh no, here it is. All right, get ready. New York is selecting Bakome Diate at number 25. Sources say. Was he even on your draft board at all?
He was actually. He was. I put together a list that home run picks. I had Tijan Saloon as somebody that nobody thinks about that could be a home run pick in like 5 years. 3 years, I meant. Saloon was number 1. Diade was number 2. So he's a stash pick to me.
That is a stash pick, classic stash pick. He's 6'9" with a 6'9" wingspan. Not considered a good defender. He is under 19 years old, so he is very young. Another Frenchman.
Yep. He shot 49%, 50% from the floor, 35% from 3, 74% from the foul line.
So his shooting numbers are healthy. Almost 36% from 3, almost 75%.
Nice pull up, works well off the ball.
So he's not a guy. They didn't draft a guy who's going to contribute for this season. They're going to stash him, or for all we know, they're going to trade him. For all we know.
Oh wow!
Wow. So no done. So there's a possibility that they have intel that Ryan Dunn will be there at 38.
If not, maybe we take 38 and now 51 that we just got and move up in the second round to pick him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, come on, man. He's definitely a draft and stash, Lex.
Well, the Steve Larson's asking, Knicks have 25 and 26 picks, but we heard that they're looking to move the 25th pick, 26th pick. So we heard.
I think that pick is a money pick, just meaning they just don't have the money. So stash this kid over there.
This is him. Wow. Yeah, this is a stash. No doubt.
Wow.
I gotta say, I'm a little in shock.
I was expecting an OKC to take him. I was expecting, teams that took like a, Usman and Zhang a couple of years ago, that type of thing. I was not expecting the Knicks to take somebody that's not ready for prime time for a couple of years. But if they do that, then it's coming down to money, folks. They're trying to save every penny they can.
Man.
So Goga, maybe a mid-level exception, or so. I think they're just going through all the numbers now.
Well, Goga is for sure going to be a serious consideration.
For sure.
If Hartenstein does walk.
I actually think Nick Richards is not a bad choice either for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Off the bench. Yeah.
Off the bench. He shot 70% from the foul line. His blocks. He's young. He can be molded, I think, as a backup big.
So this is still the situation, according to Woj. The Knicks are in talks on moving number 26, the 26th pick. Sources tell ESPN they have them. It's the Wizards are making that pick, but it's for the Knicks, and it's possible that the Knicks will then flip this pick. Now it's also possible they don't make this trade and they select Kyle Filipowski with the 26th pick. I mean, we're here now. I mean, I'm
more
saying we don't know.
The less I know.
Yeah.
Jesus, they're always throwing the curveballs and knuckleballs at me.
How do you pronounce it? Diate? Diade. All right. We are now into hour 3 of this webcast. Been great. Thank you, Foxy. Been fun watching this with you and with all you guys. Steve Larson, Lex, everyone who's still hanging around. Wiz. We got over 145 people in the chat. Awesome. I do think we most likely will be picking in the second round. I don't think we will be trading those second round picks that we have right now. So currently we have the 38th second round pick and the 51st second round pick. I am a little stunned that we picked a stash guy in the first round, because why couldn't we have picked him in the second round?
And I'm shocked that they didn't, that this pick's not moving. We're another team that's rebuilding. We saw our roster, folks. I can't see this kid getting onto this roster in the next 3 years.
No. And, I mean, he's young, but look, poor defensive rating. The Knicks are trading the number 26 pick to the Orlando Thunder.
Orlando Magic or the OKC Thunder?
I mean, OKC, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, why is
and
it?
They're trade partners for a while, so they know each other. So this will be.
Yeah, they're going to the Thunder. Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones is being selected at number 26 via Shams. Okay. And he is being traded to the Thunder. So the Knicks have only made one first round selection this year, and it's basically a stash pick. He's a kid from France. Lyon, Diate, Pacom Diate. He's a wing. Diade. He will not probably ever play for the New York Knicks. So just keep that in mind.
Dylan Jones, I have a senior below the rim athlete that plays like a power forward more than a small forward, built like a tank with a motor, good defensive IQ, uses his strength to guard multiple positions, needs to work on his shot mechanics, using his ass and legs more, shot only 32% from 3, okay handles, loves going left, but limited on offense, very turnover prone.
Yeah. I'm with you, Wiz. I'm shocked that he could have been someone who was picked in the second round. Yeah.
I feel like I got punched in the stomach. My air, somebody knocked the air out of me.
Hey, it's
your MO.
Life of being a Knicks fan on draft day. Wow.
So we're not going to. This is another year. Basically, we're not going to have any draft. We're not going to draft anyone
unless we find somebody in the second round. Like unless it's Bona, someone like Bona.
Yeah. Because I said last night, folks, the last draft pick that we made was Trevor Keels, and the last draft pick before Trevor Keels was Jericho Sims. So, come on.
Dylan Jones, you like him?
He's a senior. Nah, not really, man. Like I said, he's those guys that are a tweener. So I don't know how he's gonna deal with that. Good IQ, like I said. So
thanks to Knicks Muse, this is the full trade breakdown. Wizards received number 24th pick. Knicks received 26th pick, which we've now traded to OKC. We don't know what we're getting from. Right, that hasn't been announced. The details of that trade to OKC, but we did get the 51st pick, and we currently have the 38th pick.
I won't be surprised. It's just a draft pick, a number one draft choice for next year. That they're so stockpiled, OKC and draft picks.
So we are receiving a boatload of second round picks. Boatload of second round picks in exchange for Dylan Jones at number 26 from OKC. Sources have informed Shams that OKC is sending 5 second round picks to the Knicks for Dylan Jones at number 26. We don't know which years, nothing, there's no information like that.
Yo, if Ryan Dunn falls to the second round, we have a lot of collateral then to trade up. That or a Baylor Shireman, Adam Bona, like George just said.
Very interesting.
Shout out to Cameron Goldberg. How are you, Cameron? Knicks 100 a game.
Yeah. That's how we feel.
and see, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had a chance to add a contributor to next season in a rotation and insurance, injury insurance. But here we go. The Knicks chose to go in another direction. The Thunder are sending 5 second round picks to the Knicks in exchange for the 26th pick. And Fred Cass says, I have not gotten the word that it will be a stash pick, but I cannot fathom that it would be anything that they really think this guy can come and play. He's currently not even a good defender. It's not like that's a special skill of his. And he is not a great shooter either. You know, he's a decent shooter. He's got some decent shooting metrics. 613 true shooting, 590 field goal, EFG. That's nice. He shoots the 3 a lot at a very high clip.
Pull-ups.
And he's 6'9". So I did pull-ups. Yeah, I did. I wanted at least a 6'10" and up guy who can shoot from distance. Man.
Oh, jeepers. Well, folks, it starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So hopefully we're active in that second round.
Yep. All right. So that was it. That's our show. We waited to see what the Knicks were going to do. We had high hopes. They were going to get Ryan Dunn. And it is Minnesota is selecting Terrence Shannon Jr. at the number 27 pick.
Rich get richer.
Yep, and we are going. That's going to hurt because he's going to be one of those guys. How did he fall to 27? That's going to be like that.
And they already have a great defensive team, so now they're adding another good defensive player to a great defensive team.
Yep, and so that's very disappointing. But can't let that ruin an incredible 24 hours that we've had as the Knicks.
Want to bet?
Hey, we picked up Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby has re-signed with the Knicks. We now have 2 of the best two-way wings in the NBA. Probably 2 of the best defenders by far, who can also contribute on the other end. Average 20 points a game easily. Definitely Mikal has been doing. He's averaged 19.9 points per game in the past 2 seasons. OG Anunoby We already know what he contributes. He's an unbelievable piece added to this team. So we have him coming back. We were hoping we were going to get some fresh young blood coming on into this roster to help fill some gaps that we have. But that's not what happened today. Instead, the New York Knicks turned their 24th and 25th picks into future capital. And they took the 25th pick, and he's going to be a stash pick. I don't know what they're going to end up doing with him eventually. My guess is he will never play for the Knicks.
Came down to money.
Yeah, came down to money, which, that's just the way of the NBA, the new NBA. Here we got some per source, thanks to Jake Fisher. Thunder sending 5 seconds to New York for number 26. 2025 most favorable, Celtics, Grizzlies. 2026 Warriors. 2027 Wolves. 2027 second most favorable of 4 teams, LOL. OKC, Houston, Miami, Indiana. Wow, that's because OKC has tons of second round picks. In 2027 most favorable. Maybe they'll package some of those for a first rounder at some point. Not sure. We'll see about that. Denver's on the clock with the 28th pick. The Timberwolves selected Terrence Shannon Jr., who's somebody that I liked for this Knicks team. I thought he would have been a really good addition, someone off the bench who could learn from guys like OG and Mikal Bridges. He would have been an interesting selection for the Knicks. But I guess, the money's tight right now. The money is very tight right now. And this kind of tells me that the Knicks have not given up hopes of returning Isaiah Hartenstein to the New York Knicks. It's still a possibility. And we can kiss Ryan Dunn goodbye because he has been selected with the 28th pick.
He has?
Yep. The Suns are selecting at 28, targeting Ryan Dunn, sources tell ESPN. Let's put some sad music on.
It was a good dream for a little while. And hey, Wiz, what happened to your fucking power?
Oh man, feeding the ducks.
I wonder what our buddy JD and Keith are thinking right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I haven't heard from them.
Yeah, they're probably saying deja vu all over again, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is confirmed. Suns are picking Terrence Shannon Jr. Ay, ay, ay. That's what my dad would have said. Ay, ay, ay. What a bummer. I got really excited about this guy as a Knick. It's like we do it to ourselves. One reason we had to trade 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges is because we didn't draft Mikal Bridges when we should have.
Or Trey Murphy.
Yeah. Or Herb Jones. So we keep missing out on these guys. It's possible that our scouting department just doesn't know how to evaluate the true value of those type of players. I am going to put it on them in that way.
I think they only value guys 6'4" or under with the draft.
Yeah, basically. So, we'll see tomorrow what happens. I am planning on going live again tomorrow. And Foxy, if you're up for it, to join me, I think it'll be a shorter show. But who knows? The Knicks might already have made some moves by that point and be out of this draft. The Knicks may not make any picks this year. I could see them trading the 38th. The 38th pick is going to have some value tomorrow. The Jazz are targeting Isaiah Collier at number 29. Right now is what Woj just tweeted out. Woj is on fire right now. He's just tweeting his ass off right now.
And Collier really dropped.
Yeah. I don't believe in him at all.
And I said he was one of my busts.
Yeah, he's a bust. He's a bust. So that's it. Thank you guys for joining us here today. It's been wonderful. You guys have been awesome. We had a nice, steady, robust chat going. And Lex, thank you so much for hanging in there, brother. You're the best mod around. Steve Larson, good night to you, brother.
Thank you,
Nick,
all of you.
GM. Let's see. NCEXNYC. What's up, brother? Cameron Goldburn. Good to see you, man. No more French players. Come on. Well, it didn't happen. We got a French, but I don't think he'll ever be a Knick. He'll never play for the Knicks. Look at Rokas. Rokas is actually he actually is a really good player. He can be an NBA point guard. Still hasn't seen a minute of play in the NBA, and there's not much more to say at this point. I am disappointed, but at the same time, I am ecstatic about the OG resigning and the Mikal Bridges trade. Right now, in my opinion, the New York Knicks are the second best team in the East, and with the second best chance to win it all. The last item of business for this team, major item of business for this team, is how to bring Isaiah Hartenstein back. And right now, it's a lot of people are saying that it's going to be really difficult to do. But given these little, penny pinching moves that we've seen, they just saved a couple $100,000. It could be instrumental in bringing him back in some way. Maybe we package some other players. For all we know, it could be Mitch. Mitch could be on the move so that we can bring Isaiah Hartenstein back. Though I don't like that idea personally. I know some people think, the offense ran so smoothly with Isaiah and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when you're going up against the best teams have great bigs, except for Boston. And Boston does have a great big, which is KP, but he plays a different style. He's a stretch. But when it comes to playing the Sixers, you need a guy like Mitch. Joel abused Isaiah, and Joel was gimpy. So that's something to consider. And as Foxy brought up, his Achilles tendinopathy is just it's going to be a nagging injury for quite a while. It comes from overuse. So at this point, it's just, I'm sure the Knicks are all aware of this, and I trust that they will make the right moves to make this roster whole, even if Isaiah does leave, and it might be a Goga Batazzi guy who comes in place of him. Or who else did you recommend? Who did you?
Nick Richards.
Nick Richards, someone like that. Yeah. Foxy, any last words?
They did it again to me. They broke my heart again, but at least we have Mikal and OG to ease the pain, folks. Exactly. And we have a day tomorrow, so like George said, Bona's still out there. There's a few studs out there. I talked about Jalen Bridges, Pell Larson from Arizona. I like a whole lot. Let's see Grayson Allen in him, another shooter. So it'll be interesting to see. There's a couple of kids from smaller schools from Akron and a few others that maybe Isaiah Crawford. I don't see the Knicks going that direction, but we'll see.
There is some value in the second round, and they come at a much cheaper price.
And that's the most important to us right now is cheap.
At this point, yeah. So keep an eye out for a Dembona. I think a Dembona could be an interesting pickup for these Knicks. Versatile too. In terms of defense. All right, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I am George. This is Stephen Fox. Welcome to Into the Knicks-Verse. We are signing off. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And please hit that thumbs up button for us. And if you're watching this later on, just drop your comments. Want to hear your thoughts and feelings about the situation that the Knicks, the deals the Knicks decided to do on draft day. whether you like them or not, and what other players you think the Knicks might want to pick up in the second round. Be great to hear from you guys. All right, this is it. We will see you around the Knicks-Verse.